Happy Monday, folks. It's Captain Coder time. Captain Coder's here with another beautiful, beautiful day, folks. Another beautiful Monday here in the desert with Captain Coder. How's everybody doing this morning? We got the whole crew here. Muniz, thank you for popping in. Thanks for helping me test that reset break timer. I appreciate it. See, I think I got it because I always forget to do it. But several of the mods always remember to remind me. But I'm very glad. I think I got it working. Thank you for helping me test that out, Muniz. Much appreciate, my friend. We also got Royku here. Royku with the first, those fast fingers, typing that first right after Stream Element says we're live. Royku knew when to type first, because if you type first before someone says go, are you really first, or are you a cheater? Or are you a cheater, huh? Maybe John, welcome back, my friend. So nice to have you here. It's wonderful seeing you here on this beautiful Monday morning here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, wherever you happen to be in the world. Look, I used to just say good morning, then people yelled at me. Is it too much to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening? I say it so often. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. That's right, folks. We've got a new crew member, Jack Guojing. Jack, I'd like to thank you for following me today. Yes, Jack, welcome to the crew, my friend. How are you? Jack, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. If I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, do not hesitate to correct me. I love to make you feel welcome here at Captain Coder's Academy. So if you happen to want me to pronounce it a different way, just let me know, and I'll do my best. Corfless, welcome back, my friend. It's so nice to see you here today. Corfless and kids, remember, don't wake up in the middle of the night to code and then sleep all day. That's okay, though. To each their own. If it works for you, it works for you. But here's the thing. If it doesn't work for you and you're doing it anyway, maybe there's a change that you might need to make. Sally the Goose asks, have you thought about something like Antler? Yeah, so I've used Antler before with Java, I believe. So Antler, I'm specifically doing this project to use a parser combinator library. So I'm not going to use like an existing Lexer type library, something to do easy lexing or language definitions. I've used Antler with Java. I haven't used Antler with, gee, thank you so much for the raid. Gee, welcome, my friend. I haven't used Antler with C#. I enjoy really writing. I really, for whatever reason, I really enjoy going through parser combinators, learning that stuff. But gee, thank you so much for coming in, Sally the Goose. Thank you for saying Antler, so we can show it out to you. Antler grammar parser. Antler is a really cool tool, folks. Really cool tool for defining your language grammars. I decided to go hard mode rather than using some tool where I can sort of define the grammar and then have it sort of build out, give me a Lexer, give me a parser, give me all this stuff for free. Antler's awesome though, folks. If you're wanting to build a language like parsing tool, Antler is a really good tool for it. So thank you so much for suggesting that. I appreciate it very much. Let's see, what did I miss? I'm scrolling through, trying to get caught up with the chat here. Sorry, Moon, if I was being a little bit, I wasn't trying to be insulting. I'm sorry if I insulted your integrity, saying that you're always in the chat. But gee, gotta say gee, thank you, my friend, for the raid. Let's give a G a shout out. Shout out to G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G's a game streamer. Was playing Axiom Verge 2 this morning. Let's cut a little bit of your stream. Looked fun. I think I love me a good Metroidvania. Let's see who else we got here. Corfless. We've got Ace. Ace is here. Ooh, Ace says building an interpreter, a thing that I have considered many times and then always back down from. Don't back down. It's one of my favorite things to work on. Writing little interpreters is super fun, super cool. And we're doing this because someone on the Discord said, hey, Captain, guys, if you guys don't know, over on the Discord, over on the Discord, we have a suggest a project under the live stream session. Suggest a project. We are creating a coding language because 100 Acre said, hey, Captain, I'd love to see how you'd make a programming language. I've talked about it before. In grad school, I was super into programming language design classes. So creating a code language, super fun thing to do. And so I thought it'd be a fun way to do it here is to write a little programming language. We're calling it Diceling. Calling it Diceling. Here, let me show you it real quick. What we have, we don't have much yet. Excuse me. Diceling, captaincoder.diceling.repl.net run. So the main idea with Diceling is to write a programming language that has primitive data types. So a primitive data type is like your numeric types, integers, characters, that sort of thing. This language has a primitive type for dice. So if you did 3d6, that's a number. That's a number that represents 3 6-sided dice being rolled. And you can just add that into any numeric expression. 5 plus 1d4 plus 2d20. And that's the result of 5 plus rolling a 4-sided die and then 2 20-sided dice. 5 plus 1d4 plus 2d20. My REPL, oops, 2s20. My REPL here is not the most sophisticated REPL, so like I'd love to be able to press up to run it again, but if we want to do 3d6 over and over, we could roll a bunch of 3d6. My parser end of file reached unexpected, but we do have a little bit of a language here. It right now only supports arithmetic expressions, but it supports them. That's pretty exciting. Practical NPC, thank you for the raid. I appreciate you raiding me today, folks. Practical NPC. Practical NPCs, an incredible indie game dev working on a game in Godot. You're using in Godot, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, called Memory. Memory is a 2D action puzzle platformer game. You gotta check it out. Check it out over there on the Steam. You gotta check it out on the Steam. Look, click that link. We got Memory here. Then scroll down. Add it to your wish list. Look at this platforming fun. This game looks sick. I can't wait to play it. Practical NPC. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. I appreciate you. Ace says or asked 5D1. 5D1 is essentially equivalent. There's a little, so that's an interesting point. Computationally, 5D1 is more expensive than if you just did 5. Because 5D1, I think it's more expensive. 5D1 actually will roll a one-sided dice 5 times. So computation, it's a little bit more expensive. We haven't done any sort of optimizations like that. That's an interesting point. But yes, 5D1 is almost equivalent. There's going to be a little bit more behind this in that the dice rolls are going to be numeric types, but there's going to be, and I haven't done this yet, there's going to be like a 5, like an explain. So you might do 5 plus 5d6 plus 1d20. There's going to be an explain feature that gets added that will sort of break it down and say, okay, well, this was a 5, and then it'll show you each of the dice rolls separately. But we don't have that built in yet. But we're going to add that in. That's going to be sort of a built-in function that we have. Although it might not be a built-in function. It might just be part of we might write it as a function that does something. But that's the idea. Good question. I probably missed some. He said, there's a sandbox Lua parser for Godot that I'm super excited for projects where I want players to be able to script. Yeah, I love, Lua's a really good scripting language. I've enjoyed using Lua. I'm not a big fan of scripting languages in general, but as far as making it easy to get into and jump right into to making scripts in a project, it's nice. It's really, really nice. Let's take a look here. Royku says, I feel good breaking my stream silence on Twitch, even though it was a super short stream. I can't believe I missed your stream, Royku. It was a short stream. He said it was only a 20-minute stream. I hope you come back with more streaming. We also got a new member of the crew, Rags ZA. Welcome, friend. Yes, Rags ZA. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the crew, Rags ZA, my friend. I appreciate you being here. Rags ZA, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Captain Coders Academy, where we try to learn and code and grow as a crew. We try to do a new project here every week. This project's going to be a 2-week project, but we'll see how far we can manage to get on this. And yeah, Practical NPC, how was your stream? If you're still here, how was your stream? Roy says Diceland VPM. Lua is nice. It's half. Yeah, Lua can be nice. Tabletop Simulator is a game, sandbox game environment that I really, really like, and Lua is the scripting language for that, and I've done a lot more Lua coding than I I was gonna say than I care to admit, but I've done quite a bit of Lua scripting because I've automated board game stuff in that class, in that program. I kind of want to make a class around making board game design using Lua in Tabletop Simulator. Funny it's tables, because that is Lua. Yeah, Lua is just a bunch of tables. That's true. Legend of Grimrock 2, you can also script using Lua, which is kind of cool. Corfless says TIS 100, the game, this is the game, folks, uses Lua, by the way. I did not know that. I didn't know that at all. I was unaware of that at all. Interesting. Is it written in Lua, or is it just you can add you can like add levels and stuff, add problems to it using Lua? I'm curious what you mean by that, Corfless. Okay, all right, what are we doing today, folks? So we are trying to implement a little simple interpreted programming language called DiceLang++. DiceLang++. I kind of think I want to rename it to DiceML. DiceML might be a little bit easier because I'm using OCaml-esque syntax, and it's going to be a functional programming language because it turns out it's kind of, I don't know if easy, but it's simpler in my mind to do it. G says, if I heard correctly, Baba is also used, Baba is you game. Okay, Baba is you also use Lua scripting too. Fascinating. I know that a lot of frameworks, so I know Unity has like just a plugin unit that like lets you start doing Lua scripting and interacting with Lua scripts. And I think Unreal Engine has something like that too. So it feels like an obvious choice. Lua is very fast. Interesting. I wasn't aware that it had fast speeds. But that said, I wasn't aware that it was slow either. I just assumed it was on par with most of the interpreted languages like Python or maybe JavaScript. All right, so what do I want to get done today? Well, the first thing I want to do, task 0 is a refactoring task because our code is a bit of a mess. And so I would really, really like to refactor my parsers and AST into separate files. Right now, it's just one big, nasty, ugly, horrible mess of a file. So I have a file called expressions, and it has all of my classes in there. I'd like to break this up, try and put this into a couple different classes. I don't need Sprack in this one. So I can separate the logic so it's a little bit easier to find things. And then same thing with my parsers. Right now I just have one big class with all of my parsers inside of it. And so I think it would make sense, in my mind, I think it makes sense to break it up into separate pieces. That said, folks, I forgot. One sec, I gotta do it real quick. XX Sally the Goose. XX Sally the Goose, thank you so much again for talking about Ansler, for bringing that to our attention. 50 points to you, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your suggestion. I appreciate it very much. G says, Baba really hurts my head, so I've never completed that. I don't know if I've played that game. I've heard about that game, but I've never played it. All right. So parsers here. Yeah, so my first task is just to try and refactor this into something a little bit more logical. And so I think I need to make a folder just called parsers, like this, and then have a couple separate, maybe I make this, can I do a public static partial? Can I do a partial static class? I think I might do okay, this will be cool because then I could have these all will still be part of the quote unquote parsers dot. We're gonna see if this will work. Is this a thing? This seems a little strange to me. .NET build. Let's see if it'll build this. Will it build, folks? Ask yourselves. Will it build? It builds. All right. So can we put these in separate? This is probably a really terrible programming practice, but I'm gonna see if we can do it here. I'm gonna create a new folder called parser helpers, and in my parser helpers, again, we're going to use a partial class. So let's have the class. Essentially, the idea is I want to have these all be part of parsers dot, and by making it a partial class, and someone tell me I'm doing something terrible and I shouldn't do this, I'm going to start moving all of my helpers in here. So my partial class, one sec, needs Sprack. Sprack is the parsing combinator library we're using. It's gonna yell at me saying, well, with parentheses, it's already defined in this one. I should be able to get rid of this, and then all of my tests, let's see, what did it say? This should resolve itself. It's just confused because I think it's a phantom error. Let's try the .NET build here. Yeah, it's a phantom error. So these are gonna be like my non-grammar related ones. So these are just my little helpers. And I want like one for value parsers, right side operator parser. So then I'm gonna do one here, parsers, parser helpers, new file, we're gonna call one parser values or value parsers. So these are gonna be things that parse my values. So this would be bool, int, and a dice group. These are my values right now. So we'll move these in here. And parsers, I'm gonna steal this again. It just all felt like it was in one big file. It's hard to sort of navigate. So I'm hoping this will clean it up a little bit. But yeah, using the partial class basically says, well, I can define this class in several different files, and even someone in a separate project could potentially not extend, but continue working on the partial class outside of it and add some stuff to it. So that's sort of what we're doing here. Probably not the best. It's definitely not an object-oriented practice, but we're sort of implementing this in a semi-functional way. All right, from parse result. What is from parse? Let's make sure this still builds. Did I break any of my tests during the past? Sally says, thank you for the points. You're welcome. No, Sally, thank you for your suggestions of Antler, because it's a really powerful tool that if you're making a real programming language should absolutely consider. This is a toy language and we're sort of trying to build it from scratch, so to speak. The only thing I'm using is the parser combinator library. All right. Okay. All right. So our parsers, I have my value parsers, bool, int, dice group. We're going to be adding, are we going to add any more value types today? We might add in list today. And then another value type, we might add in list. I know we're going to have lists and we're going to have functions and probably arrays. Although I might not do arrays. I might be lazy and just leave it at lists. But the ones that definitely have to happen are lists and arrays. What type of tokens do you have? So I'm not tokenizing. So there's no lexer in this one. I'm not tokenizing, and maybe I should write a lexer first. But I'm going straight from. I'm writing a straight from parser to my value type. So I have two types. Essentially, I'm not doing type checking, but if we look at my abstract syntax tree, my abstract syntax tree is in expressions. Yeah, so we're bypassing the lexer. We're using a parser combinator, and in some way, so I might want to do a lexer, but I'm trying. So on my channel on Captain Coder's Discord, we typically try to do a new project every week. So the question is like, how much can I get done in a week? You got to the lexer and then failed. Yeah, so I would recommend taking a shot at a parser combinator, using a parser combinator, because you can kind of, and it makes it really easy to semi-bypass it. The one thing here, but in my expression, so I have two things, sorry, I'm rambling. I have two types. I have an I expression, it's my interface for expression. It has an evaluate method, so it knows how to evaluate itself. And then I have an I value, which basically knows how to cast itself to my different types, int, bool, and then have a pretty print on it. So I have two types here, I value, I expression, and then my parsers, I don't tokenize those. I just basically go through and in all of my parsers, if I was doing a lexer, I would kind of have to define my whole grammar ahead of time, which I've kind of not done as well. In my parsers, you'll notice that I always start with like trim white space, and after I do something, I trim the white space after that. A tokenizer, a lexer basically goes in and you would chunk out all of your tokens first. Yes, I have started the abstract syntax tree. So that's over here. I'm doing a refactor here, trying to get it a little bit easier to navigate and look at. But we basically have arithmetic is implemented. So we have this high level expression type. We have a high level expression type, and then we have binary operators. So these are arithmetic operators: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and then we have value types down at the bottom. So we have 3 different types of value types right now: int values, bool values, and dice group expression values. And we are going, so I have a very, very simple, I'd call it a very, very simple abstract syntax tree. I'm not planning to compile this language, so I can get away with making my AST more floppy than you might want to if you wanted to compile your language. We're gonna add in binary conditional. I'm gonna try to add in binary conditional operators today. So this is like greater than, less than an equality. I'm not planning to do a transpile. That's a good question. Real Patty Whack, thank you for the whoa. Welcome aboard. It's nice to see you again. And then I want to add in Boolean operators. So this would be the Boolean and Boolean or. And then I need to add in a language level error. So right now we don't have language level errors. So right now we're throwing C# exceptions, which isn't really what you want to do. I'm planning to have local scoping, so let bindings. We might end up doing statement-based bindings as well. And then lambda expressions for functions. So we're going to do substitution, let expressions for substituting into local expressions, lambdas, and then the list data type will be really important here. But I'm going with the functional programming. Archetype IO says, ooh, you're doing this kind of stuff. No wonder you like Archetype. I know, I was looking at Archetype, I was like, that looks awesome. That project looks so much fun to work on. Do you stream Archetype? Archetype, are you a streamer? I see you have 105 followers. I'm gonna click follow. Functional is cool. Functional is particularly, in my mind, functional is a lot easier to create a programming language to do. Everyone, you gotta check out Archetype.io. One sec, Archetype, let me permit Archetype.io. Let's give you some time. If you would like to share some links, please do Archetype.io. Your project looks amazing. I love me a good typed language. People on this channel who have been here a while know that I'm not a big fan of dynamically typed languages. I don't hate dynamic typed languages and I use them a lot, but for big projects it drives me nuts. That said, DiceLang++ is going to be absolutely a dynamic language, at least to start out. Most people write functional way. Interesting. You think that's true? Most people write functional way, or do you just mean that's interesting? I feel like that's not true. I feel like most people don't write functional way. Most people love writing using variables and stuff. That said, I don't think most people write object oriented either. I think most people tend to use, and they don't even realize they're doing it, use a procedural style where they just sort of write top to bottom in their code. I mean, people don't use OOP practice. Yes, people don't use OOP. I think people, for the most part, don't even realize that they're, for the most part, doing procedural, which basically says my program reads from top to bottom exactly how it's supposed to execute. OOP is, if you're following OOP to the T, like all the way down to the letter, there's so many like internal rules and stuff that you have to understand and follow and hold yourself accountable for, which is tough. Nicothin, is it pronounced Nicothin? Nick says, I just do what feels good and what works. A lot of people do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. People can check out the project here, archetype.io. That makes sense. This project looks super cool. TypeScript, validator, and optimized for editor runtime. This looks super, super cool. Thank you so much for sharing that Archetype, for sharing such a cool project. 50 points to you, my friend. 50 points to you. Yeah, thank you. Folks, thank you so much for being here on this beautiful Monday morning from here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Breaker says, very clever to have your username be the same as your website. Yeah. Warning, I'm a Slytherin. You're a Slytherin. Uh-oh. We got a Slytherin in our midst. Look, I don't, people say those types of things. I kind of understand now. I've read the first, I couldn't get through the, so look, people, don't hate me, but I haven't read all of the Harry Potter books. I haven't seen all the Harry Potter movies. I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into it when I was younger. In school, we had to read the first book, and I was like, this is okay. But I was reading, I know, such a muggle. I was reading so much Forgotten Realms books that the magic, everything in Harry Potter just feels so magical. And I guess that's what they're going for, but nothing in that book makes sense to me. But that's just like my opinion, man. That's just like my opinion. So to each their own. But those Harry Potter references often go whoosh, whoosh, go right over my head. Let's see. Pompous British magic. G says, actually, I know schools now start teaching kids program with OOP, but it's just like teaching writing Lord of the Rings or all 7 volumes of Harry Potter. So G, a big part of that, I think, is the computer science AP exam. So there's 2 computer science courses that you can get AP credits for. Comp Sci A is a course that is, so the exam is basically a how well do you know Java exam. So you got to know very, very specific Java object-oriented principles to do well on that test. Todd makes games. Welcome, my friend. Welcome back to the stream. Folks, I'm so happy you're all here. Real quick, I gotta do a little bit of promotion here. We have a giveaway going on this week, folks. If you guys didn't know, we have a giveaway going on. Do you like Captain Coder? Do you want your very own look? The incredible, the insatiable, the infragnable MMO pug has created laser engraved. Look at this laser engraved Captain Coder hologram. It lights up. Did the battery die? Where's the, there it goes. It lights up, it slices, it dices, it has this little remote, you can change the colors. This little desk piece here, guaranteed to give you up to 17% extra coding powers. Get your very own Captain Coder. Look, you can't just buy one of these. There's nowhere you could try. But there's no swag shop. The captain doesn't have a swag shop. But we have a giveaway going on, folks. If you head over to the Discord, I know everyone's on a million Discord, but if you head over to the Discord, you click on the giveaway right here. You see that giveaway channel? You click on the giveaway channel. You click this little Tana reaction that enters you to win. I will ship it anywhere the United States Postal Service will allow me to ship it. That's most places. Unless you live somewhere where they won't let me ship it, I will ship it out to whoever wins it, folks. But get yourself a Captain Coder desk piece, folks. That's right, G. That's right, G. Whoa, Nicothan. Whoa, MMO Pug. Once again, thank you so much for your donations, my friend. We appreciate it here. We appreciate it. All right, folks. I missed so much in the chat. I'm sorry if I missed some. Please let me. G is saying, I think schools now start teaching C# and Java with all OO stuff on it. I would never do programming if I started with OOP. Interesting. Yeah, I don't start with OOP. Object-oriented programming, there's just like so much I do think object-oriented programming is a great might be the wrong word, is a perfectly fine way to help manage the complexity of large projects. I will say that working in Java forces a lot of those OOP practices, and there are tons of Java is an industry standard. Java is an industry standard, and it's really, really helpful if you come onto a large team or a semi-medium-sized team. It's super, super helpful to know those practices, and that's one of the big things. It says pretty crazy why they get so obsessed with language-specific instead of principles. That's how I feel. Principles are more important. Can always read documentation for that kind of stuff. But the main idea is if you can get students to learn Java, there are lots of Java jobs out there. I think that's a big part of it. Not necessarily kids, but get people to learn Java. You're almost guaranteed to get a job if you're a solid Java programmer. You're almost guaranteed to get a job. And a high-paying job at that. I know the controversial opinion, but lots of embedded systems in Java, man. That's where I've made a lot of money writing Java. I'm not a huge fan of Java, but I've made a lot of money writing Java code. ASAP says, yeah, OOP is pretty boring. Would have started with Python or something and make a game. Archetypes is agreed. I guess practically you have to learn somehow. It's awkward for an entire AP test to be centered around a language like that. It really bothers me that it's centered around Java like that. There's another one, computer science principles is not centered around that. Did I say hello when I came with a raid? Devro says, I haven't seen you yet in this chat, but welcome, Devro. Folks, if you guys don't know, Devro is an incredibly talented game developer and 3D artist. Got to check out that stream. If you can give him a chance, give him a chance. Nikithan says, I thought my school was wasted because they taught Java and Python. I prefer C# and JavaScript. I've fallen in love with C# for what it's worth. I've only been doing C# for about 20 months. We're approaching month 20, maybe just past it. Less than 2 years though, and I have sort of fallen in love with C#. The syntax is lovely. It feels good. It feels good. That said, not a huge fan of dynamically typed languages. And in my experience, teaching students, and this comes from me being a computer science teacher, students who start with an untyped language, dynamically typed language, struggle so much to switch to a statically typed language. But students who start with a statically typed language have no problem going to a dynamically typed language. And students basically have no problem starting in a statically typed language. It's very, very interesting. There's nothing wrong with JavaScript. There's a lot of things wrong with JavaScript, but JavaScript is a necessary evil. It's absolutely worth knowing. Daniel says, every developer should start with a low-level language and understand the basics and how things work. I don't know if starting with it depends on what you mean by low-level language. When I think of low-level language, I think of something like assembly. I kind of think of C as like a medium-level language. I would love to, so anyway. Nika then says, it can be fun to throw away the semicolons and care for the world of peace that comes with JavaScript. That's true. Ken says, you really want people to start with something that interested and encourages their interest. Lukey, so sorry about my bot gets crazy. It thought you posted a link, my friend. I'm so sorry. Lukey, SZS posted the following: is.NET or ASP.NET worth learning? As I heard, it requires the knowledge of C#. Is it worth learning it for software development or something else? Absolutely worth learning .NET. I'm just learning it myself. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. You only get banned for it with a 10-second timeout. Lukey, I'm so sorry. It thought you were trying to post a link. My Stream Elements bot is crazy, my friend. I'm so sorry about that. The bots love the security. They're cracking them down. Daniel Grab, C is a great start. C is a really cool language. So just so you guys know, I teach at a school ages 10 to 14. I do have several students programming in C and C++, but it's tricky to get students. It's really hard to get students a development environment in which programming in C and C++ is easy. I don't know. So C is a great starting language. I think C is a fantastic language to learn about how computers work. It's a fantastic language to learn how computers work and how memory in the computer, or at least the abstract idea of how memory in the computer is laid out. So for what it's worth, I've done a ton of programming in C. I've done a bunch of embedded systems works in C. When I was a freelancer, before I was a consultant for doing test-driven development, I was most of my paid work came from doing embedded systems in C and assembly, and I love C. I think you learn so much about how computers work and under the hood, how things go. And so it's a fantastic language. If you're scared of C, stop being scared of C. Get yourself a nice book on C and learn it. Because it'll take you to the next level. It'll get you there. Nika then says, get the kids in Unity with pre-built scenes and have them use C# to do basic scenes like movement scripts and mathematical mechanics. I taught a Unity class last term. In fact, I learned Unity this year in January. I dug into Unity. And so I did teach a class, a 10-week course in Unity. Students did awesome stuff in it. And I think Unity, so there's this challenge to get kids excited about coding, but there's also, you got to be careful about how you teach it, because kids can get to a point to where they're resistant to learning good practices. And that is a challenge, not just kids, but any programmer. You say, well, I can muscle my way through this whole thing. Programming allows you to do a bunch of really, really complex stuff. Allows you to do a bunch of really, really complex stuff. And that's, it's easy to let it blow up out of control. And it's harder to teach good practices later. That's what I'll say, is it's really, really hard. A student who's learned bad practices, is really hard to get them to stop doing those bad practices. And Unity is, that's my biggest complaint with Unity, is all of the tutorials, not all, 99% of the tutorials, 99% of the community, maybe not 99%, but such a huge huge percentage of the tutorials and community just say, well, just do all these bad practices. Before I continue here, I gotta welcome a new member to the crew, the polyglot programmer. Polyglot programmer, welcome to the crew. We've got the polyglot programmer in the crew, and I'd like to welcome you. Thank you for following me today. The polyglot programmer, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Captain Coder's Academy. Let's see here. I'm trying to catch up on the chat. Polyglot Pro says C is actually a pretty simple language, but will teach you all you need to know about basic data types, data structures, memory management. Exactly. C is a super small language, and I love it for that reason. The hard part is the abstract idea of how memory works on a computer. So there's no garbage collector, so it can be difficult to explain the memory model of a computer to a 10-year-old. That's where C becomes hard. It can be difficult to explain the memory model of a computer and how pointers and stuff work. That said, C is beautiful because you basically start with nothing. You don't have a built-in linked list. You don't have a built-in array list. You got to build all that stuff yourself. And so I think it's the perfect language for a data structures and algorithms class. Nicothan says, I skipped that. G says, I do have feelings that if you start learning with Java, you'd probably never reach the part where you would teach LR1, for example. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. Des1 Red State, welcome back. Desired State, welcome back, my friend. I'm sorry, folks. If I missed something in the chat, please do not hesitate to say it again. There was a lot going on there. Captain struggles. Look, I'm a simpleton. The captain is a simpleton. That means I have a ton of simple. This is my break timer working today. Break. Looks pretty good. We've been going for 42 minutes. Excuse me there. I apologize. Give me a second. And we're back. Sorry about that. Still, that sickness that got me like 2 weeks ago, it's a clinger. It's lingering big time. Nicholas said, what are your thoughts on teaching kids Raspberry Pi and robot stuff with visual scripting or code blocks? I think visual scripting for anyone over 7 is a bad idea. There's a lot of research on why on this. So the biggest one is a research that was done, I believe, by MIT. MIT is the people who like made Scratch. So their goal was to make a language that gets kids programming and learn stuff. Visual scripting languages have the following problem. There's a study says students who used, so they did a study where they wanted to see how students in their first university level programming course did. And they took students who had previously been exposed to Scratch, which is a block coding language, and those who had been previously exposed to no coding language. Students who had no coding experience did better than students who had used a visual coding language. And basically that just says like, hey, the visual coding language sort of makes it, you learn these things in the coding language and then you're very, very resistant. Essentially, you're very resistant to doing text-based coding. So I personally say avoid block coding languages at all costs. That's just my opinion though. And my opinion comes from the fact that moving from a block language to a text language is incredibly difficult for people. Revere, welcome back, my friend. Happy Monday. How are you? You back at work? Yeah, I hope you're not suffering too much. Nicothan says, I see many people using the chat generative pre-trained transform, chat GPT, gotcha, and code blocks on social medias, and I don't like that idea. I don't like my students using it either. Let's see, can we get a ban on Ryuji, people? Can one of the mods ban Ryuji for me? Thank you. Archetype parsers can be built using expressive language. Guess it just depends what you're invested in learning. Thank you so much, G. I appreciate you. Yes, parsers can be built in expressive languages. I thought about doing it in F#, but I decided it would be more fun to do it, not maybe more fun, more interesting for me to do it in C# because I've never written a parser or / a language using an object-oriented language outside of Java. Yeah. Clayman says, hello there, Captain. How are you doing? I'm doing fabulous, Clayman. Any day I can wake up and code is a beautiful day. How are you on this beautiful day, Clayman? Sir Black Soul said, just want to say hi, but we'll be lurking while working in the background. You know, Sir Black Soul, Captain Coder at Captain's Coder Academy, we know that you have many places to lurk. And we appreciate you choosing to lurk here with us. So welcome aboard, enjoy your stay, and stay tuned for those stretches, because that's what, you got to take care of yourself. Stay tuned for the stretches. Archetype says, oh, I was just responding to the comments about not getting to LR1. Gotcha. If you start with Java, not your choice of language. I think Java has so much magic going on that I think it's a really, really hard first language, in my opinion. Maybe a bit of a stretch to call Java expressive, but compared to C, look, it depends on what you mean by expressive. So I would say Java is a very verbose language, Itzhap says, do you teach recursion? I do. It's like one of the first things we cover in I teach recursion before I teach loops because I think it's so important. Monofer, welcome to the crew. Thank you for following me today. We've got Monofer. Welcome to the crew. How are you, Monofer? Monofer, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to Captain Coders Academy. Happy to have you here on this beautiful day. Layman says, when you mention Java, it makes me think of the FizzBuzz Enterprise Edition. Yeah, FizzBuzz Enterprise Edition. If you mean verbose, 100%, Archetype says, of course. She says, yes, Java is an interesting verbose language. They did it intentionally. So Java, their idea with it was, let's try and standardize this, and this, I could be wrong, someone correct me. Let's try and standardize this as much as possible so that when you bring in the onboarding process to get into a project, anyone who's worked on a team, who's come into a team that has legacy code that's been established for 10 or more years, knows it's really hard to learn a code base. So that one of the major goals with Java was to create a language where it's like, this is the way you do it. And so you can more quickly onboard a person in a Java project. And it's absolutely true. It is absolutely true. I think verbosity is mostly the opposite of expressivity. Interesting. I'd have to think about that a little bit deeper. Recursion is actually useful for processing. Recursion has some incredibly good uses. Ken says, in practice, I've barely used recursion for anything. So I typically don't even tell students they're doing recursion. I just say, hey, let's write. So the trick to teaching something that most people say is hard is you just sort of tell people, hey, we're, it's just we need a function that does X. Do we have a function that's like, well, this function that we're writing right now has X. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool. And we do it that way. That said, can I agree? In practice, you don't have to use it that often. In practice, you're probably using a higher order function or loops. There is some speed benefit to using loops if you're not in a language that does tail call optimizations. It says recursion is not used that often, but it's a very beautiful solution when you do use it. There are really, really good times to use it. Especially with tree type and graph type data structures. It's just a wonderful thing to be aware of recursion. Nicholas says, I used recursion for one of my apps just the other day. Is it for creating a puzzle game? This, in fact, parsing an abstract syntax tree, perfect opportunity to use it. Archetype replying to Ken says, it's very natural to use when the data you're working with is recursive. Exactly. Beyond that, it's really just a choice, and I agree, usually not the more intuitive one. Yeah, I agree with that. Itzhap says, Minimax algorithm for games is recursive. You can do it recursively. True, true. You could also explicitly have a stack data structure. Okay. Let's try and get something done, folks. Thank guys in the chat. I love, let's not do a lot. Let's close this live. No one joined the live share. Stop. No, I don't need you in the live share. We are, what do I want to, we're in the process of refactoring real quick. We got to get something done. Refactor parsers and abstract syntax tree to separate files. Now, maybe I should call this expressions. We've done some of our advent of code streams and recursion too. Yeah, so I love recursion. I love how clever you can, clever might not be the right word, but how clever you can kind of be with recursion. The language I'm implementing, the dice language here, it probably won't have loop constructs because like I'm not planning on having loop. It's going to be just like a functional language. So you'll use recursion to accomplish things. We probably won't have tail call optimization, but we're going to implement it in a way that you could do it that way. Okay. So I was going through my parsers and I'm pulling out like parsers. Okay. So I'm going to create arithmetic, new file, arithmetic parsers here. Having this all in one class, one big file was getting a little bit gnarly. Redston Pro, welcome back, my friend. Ahoy, Redston, welcome back, my friend. How are you on this beautiful day? How is your project coming along? How is your, Redston's doing a really cool game project, like customizable cars and ships. It looks amazing. It looks amazing. Oh, and before I forget, folks, I haven't given a shout out. Mooniz, I'm so sorry to give you a shout out earlier. Mooniz, incredible streamer, game developer, professional game developer. Mooniz making a Metroidvania game. Taught me everything I know about Unity, folks. So if you want to learn a little bit about game dev, Mooniz is a place to go. Check out that stream. Also, Mooniz, I gotta update this with some YouTube links as well. But Mooniz, folks, give him some love because we love Mooniz. Mooniz keeps us going. You made a saving station, Redston. Awesome, awesome. Archetype says, have to head out, was fun stopping in. Always love seeing people building parsers. I'll be back. Archetype, thank you so much for being here. As always, remember, keep coding, keep growing, be the best you can be, and you are welcome back anytime, my friend. Anytime, do not hesitate. Anytime, you are welcome back anytime. All right, so our arithmetic parsers. These are add sub expressions all the way down to our things down. No risk of me not coding. Thanks. Good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Is this still build? Redson says, but it does not fully work because the save files keep getting corrupted. That's not good. Itzhat says, what made you transition from embedded systems to teaching? I've always wanted to be a teacher. This is an excellent question, Itzhat. I have always wanted to be a teacher. I actually went to school originally to be a music teacher. But unfortunately, I'm not robust enough. I don't have the right personality to deal with a field that I feel is not valued, unfortunately. And so I wasn't able to pursue music education as much as I may have wanted to. But yeah, I went to school to be a music educator. I've been programming long before I started, not long, before I started playing music, but I was coding before I started playing music. I switched to computer science and started working on computer science, and then became a computer science tutor at the undergrad I was working on and a TA, and I just loved that so much. And then so I decided to pursue computer science education in grad school. And for many years, I wanted to be a computer science educator, but most public schools don't have like a role that's just computer science teacher. And I refused to essentially teach math. I essentially refused to teach math and computer science. I didn't want to be a math teacher and teach the computer science after school program, so I resisted that. And then about 3 years ago, I actually finally got hired as a full-time teacher doing computer science education. So it's been a path that I've been struggling to get to, but I'm finally a full-time computer science educator at an independent school, so it's not a public school. but that's essentially my journey to becoming a computer science teacher. I've always wanted to be one. And so one of the things I'm trying to do is computer science, like Captain Coders Academy. I want to try and build, so one of the things I'm doing here on Twitch too is building this community. Originally I wasn't here on Twitch building a community, but this community's been so awesome. I would like to work to build a community of people who want to be computer science educators, because it's really hard to get into that area. And so that's one of the things that I'm trying to work on. How can I get that there? Luke asks, and let me know if I'm pronouncing it right. Lukey asks, what instruments were you playing? My main instrument was trombone. Bass trombone was my main instrument. I do play it. I had to pass a piano proficiency exam, so I can make do on a keyboard if I have to. And then I've also been, in the last couple of years, I've been learning guitar, which has been super fun. Jazz guitar, so reading music, not just learning one-off rock songs, that sort of thing. Corfless says, coding update from Corfless. Part 1 done, 10 more to go. Congratulations, Corfless, nice work. The Grumpy Game Dev says, ahoy, Captain. Grumpy Game Dev, welcome, my friend. So nice to have you here. It was great catching your stream this morning, folks. The Grumpy Game Dev. The Grumpy Game Dev. If you want to stream, where you're coding along, not necessarily coding along, but Grumpy, I'm so sorry, I'm not doing you justice. This stream is amazing, folks. Grumpy Game Dev is currently building a system. He does a bunch of retro style games, building a system for the Rogue Light game jam that's coming up. If you have any links, Grumpy, have I made you a VIP yet? The Grumpy Game Dev, we love you here, folks. But give Grumpy some love. If you want to watch someone code and tell you to get off their lawn, he is the one to be. He is the one to do. IHQ says, speaking of tutoring, I just got paid for teaching some Android tips and tricks, so I'm in a good mood today. Congratulations, IHQ. That's awesome. Sir Black says, how open are schools for freelancers? Does it need to be full-time? Send me a private message on Discord at some point and I'll talk to you. My school is almost entirely part-time. The school that I work is almost entirely part-time. We have some amazing people. We got people from NASA teaching at the school. So the school, I love the school I'm working at because they do stuff like with people from NASA. We got people who have do all sorts of stuff in a variety of different places. So we have tons and tons of part-time. Typically, that's not the case. This is the only school I've ever found that's like that actually pays a decent teacher salary. Keep in mind, it's a decent teacher salary. Most places teach, like most places, if you're doing a part-time, it's like minimum wage after school program, or basically volunteer after school program. That's where I had been in the past. But yeah, send me a message. I'd love to talk to you about it more if you're interested in it. Redstem Pro says, I have dyslexia, minor turrets, and is Tedder. I'm not going for the teacher. That's okay. Not everyone wants to be a teacher. Nicothan says, I'm an English teacher myself, but I love to have a programming class. That's awesome. We need more good teachers. That's really what it comes down to. Grumpy says, here's the link to the project I'm working on. Let's check it out. Doomhawker. Grumpy, I love catching your stream. Doomhawker here, an incomplete editor. So making an editor, which is super cool. And it's all controlled with the NES controller, the original Nintendo controller, which is super, super cool. G says, anyway, I need to do a walk and doing groceries. Enjoy your time away, my friend. Need food for tonight. Take care of yourself, G. You know for sure that you are always welcome back anytime. I appreciate you very much. Nicholas says, whoa, NASA's at the school, fancy. It's a pretty cool school. It's 100% remote. It's a 100% remote school, that's one of the things that like makes it a little bit easier for us to have like really awesome people there. It's a global school, 100% remote, with lots of part-time classes that we can accommodate students who may be in full-time regular school. So we do a lot of part-time classes there, ages 10 to 14. So it's for young people. I love this school so much. Remember, said at some point I need to transition into education. Not terribly interested into getting credentials for it. The credentials suck. if you're trying to get into a regular school, like a traditional school, the credentials are not a fun experience to go through for a computer science. So if you want to do like programming, in the meantime, I mentor and such interns and junior people at Daytime. That's awesome. Itzap says, so do you want to create courses and stuff in the future? Maybe own website and stuff? I'm currently working on, so one of the reasons I'm doing C# stuff is I want to learn it better. I've been writing this, this online interactive workbook is what I'm going for here. It's super alpha, c#.captaincoder.org. But yes, I want to write some books specifically targeting young people. This book isn't for everyone. It's really, really targeted for young students. Because the students I teach are like ages 10. This is a book that it's sort of a choose your own adventure book with lessons, and it's a little bit gamified in there. But this is sort of what I'm calling my quote unquote baby a little bit. And I'm a big fan of project-based learning and not tutorials. So tutorial videos, I think, tend to be really, really bad. So this summer, my goal this summer, so my goal this year is actually, I've been calling it the year of content. The year of content. So CGP Grey has this idea of themes. My theme this year is the year of content. And my goal, and I started this back before I was on Twitch, I was planning on making a bunch more like YouTube project videos, but Twitch has sort of kind of, streaming has kind of consumed me a little bit here. My goal this summer is to produce two courses this summer. One that's just a C# class, and then another one that I think is going to be a C, the second part course is going to be object-oriented programming in C# with Unity. So those are the two courses I'm hoping to create this summer. That said, we'll see what happens. I think creating two courses, and I'm going to call them light courses because it's not a full learn all C#. It's going to be a course though. So my Adventures in C# course, I'm going to translate it into a more formalized course, and then the Unity object-oriented programming in C# course after that. Shadiest Ghost says, I wrote 9K lines of code without building or testing. That's a lot of lines of codes to do without building or testing. Good luck, Shadiest Ghost. Good luck. Okay, we got to get something done here, folks. We're in the process of refactoring here. I wanted to take my arithmetic parsers and move them out. Living dangerously. Look, some of us like to live dangerously, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with living life to the fullest. Diceling expression. Arithmetic expressions is like all of this stuff. My factor expression probably will be a little bit different. So the names on these suck. I hate these names. From parse results is a dice group expression. This should go with this needs to go with our value parsers. It's part of dice group expression. Format this. Shady says high risk, low reward is the way I do things. High risk, low reward. That's the way everyone should do anything. She says I wanted to add Twitch channel points programming, but Twitch said no. Bummer. You're still working on the dialing. Yeah, that's our project this week. We might bleed into next week because I'm having so much fun with it. We've only worked on it 2 days. We've only been working on it for 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. Nickathan says I usually use long descriptive names with longer summaries. Use long descriptive names with longer summaries. Yeah, parser names I find are just hard. First off, I am bad at coming up with names in general. I'm terrible at coming up with names in general. You are using a small font. Is this font too small? McNets, is this font too small? I thought this was a pretty big font. Here, value, we'll put this in here. I'm old. We can increase it by one step, but now it's just like, it takes up too much of the screen in my mind. Maybe the font is too thin or something. Zoom it a bit. Maybe I can just change, let's go to our settings here. Settings. The plus one was just too much. We could probably increase it rather than doing like a plus, because I think that's like a plus 25%. I bet we can set the font size. Let's try 16. I bet if we do that, how's that? Shady is, I think that the font size I use may be even bigger. So when how do we do on this one? I'm watching in laptop computer. Is this any better? Because now, before it was just like too big. But all right. So like this is a horrible name, parse right side operator. Jack says, looks fine to me. Then I find it odd. I zoomed my browser and stream got smaller. I zoomed my browser out and it got bigger. Yeah, some websites use like a scale thing to try and make it just take up the right amount of space. Cable card just says much better. Glad to hear it. Thank you for the feedback. Look, McNets, for letting me know the text was too small. 50 points to you, my friend. Thank you for letting us know. Thank you for your contributions to the stream. Thank you for your contributions to society. You deserve it. Cable Car Digital, thank you for following me. Yes, Cable Car Digital, welcome to the crew, my friend. Cable Car Digital, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Captain Coders Academy. Shady Scout says, wait, what are those points? Those are, I'm not an affiliate. Not an affiliate, but we do have a little shop we can do. Little shop of horrors. Duck-faced Killa says, how is .NET/C# in VS Code? I only use it in VS full flat. This is an excellent question. I get it a lot. I think Visual Studio is a far better tool for doing C# and .NET work. Visual Studio is a far better tool. Let me repeat it again. Visual Studio is far better than Visual Studio Code for doing .NET and C# development. That said, that might raise the question of like, why are you using Visual Studio Code if you think Visual Studio is so much better? Well, I'm so glad you asked. I work at a school for ages 10 to 14 that does a lot of programming classes, and we have decided as an organization, as a school, that Visual Studio Code is going to be the tool that students learn for all of the programming languages. So Python, JavaScript, C, all of the languages, we're doing those all in Visual Studio Code. So rather than having to learn a bunch of different tools, we're going to stick with one, and then they learn the hotkeys and stuff pretty well in that one tool. Additionally, Visual Studio only works on Windows. And we're bring your own device school. That's the other little problem with it. So I use Visual Studio Code, so I understand. I'm learning myself. What are the kinks? What are the things I have to do in it? So that's sort of the reason. But would I recommend Visual Studio Code? Probably not to most people for C# development. Good question. Great questions. But yeah, we do have a little shop there. There's not much you can do with it. But yeah, I'm not an affiliate on Twitch. So I don't get channel points, but I also don't get ads. So there you go. There's sort of the benefit there. Shady says, honestly, that's better than using so many tools. In my school, we use like 1 billion different software for each language. Yeah, so keep it simple. KISS, keep it simple, silly. Nika then says, I agree, much better IntelliSense in VS than VS Code. Absolutely. But I get better IntelliSense for JS Node and React from VS Code. VS Code is super customizable is the thing. So I've actually written some plugins for VS Code specifically to make my life a little bit easier with C# stuff for my students. Redson says, I just found out why my game was lagging. The load func was const. I don't quite understand that. Was const, so it was adding thousands of childs into the scene. Well, that'll do it. That'll do it. She discussed you can disable ads with affiliate. You cannot. You will always have a pre-roll ad no matter what you do. And I just don't want that. I don't want that. If they let me do no ads at all, I would be an affiliate, but there's no way to make it no ads at all, so I don't do it. The other thing is I cross-stream to YouTube. And you're not allowed to do that if you're an affiliate as well. And I get a lot of view on YouTube. I don't get a lot of live views on YouTube, but I get a lot of watch time on YouTube, and that is something that makes me that I really like. Bean water is good. Let's see if we can get something done, folks. McNet says right now I'm using VS Code, VS, and JetBrains for the same product, so I can get the pros and cons. Good. Big number makes big happy. Big number makes big happy. I don't know if I get big numbers, but there's some level of ease of cross streaming to YouTube, so I don't have to upload anything, I don't have to edit anything, I don't have to do anything extra. It just goes there, and I like that. Okay, all right. Parse right side operator. This was a thing I think I might refactor a little bit. This should maybe go in helpers. Parse right side operator. But this is part of our arithmetic expressions. Let's take this and I'm gonna chop it into our arithmetic parsers, like so. Format. Let's see if our unit tests still pass even with all of this refactoring that we did here. Rusty says I don't think I get big numbers, so also him. 53 viewers. Yeah, 50. It's pretty wild. So streaming's been super fun. It's very intimidating to have this many viewers. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so all of our tests still passed. We did a little bit of refactoring here just for some organization purposes. This was what I wanted to get done in this first part. Does big viewers count? Zuper Dan, speaking of big viewers, we got the man, the myth, the legend in our midst, folks. Zuper Dan, host and amazing host of the Dungeon Crawler Girthwise, host of the Dungeon Crawler Jam, amazing host of the Dungeon Crawler Jam, and owner of Dungeon Crawl. What is it? Dungeon Crawlers. Is it dungeoncrawlers.org? Can't do dungeoncrawler.org. Yeah, dungeoncrawlers.org. Amazing. I mean, you gotta check out this stuff out. If you like old school games, if you're a fan of Dungeon Crawlers, if you want to relive that childhood of sweating your way, you gotta go check it out. Zuperdan's amazing. Zuperdan, do you stream? I don't think you stream, right? I'm gonna click follow anyway. But I love Zuperdan. Your stream was your game jam's such awesome. Congratulations on having such a successful game jam, by the way. Good job. Man Jim Crawls, yeah. Girthwise. That's good. Yeah, I get Redston. I usually get on the weekends. I get a good number of followers typically. Usually like 20 a day on Saturday, 20 on Sunday. Not always, but it's a little bit blows my mind. Like I said, I'm interested in that. I'll check it out later. Definitely do. I need. We're working on a rebuild of it, Zuperdan. It was a fun jam. Anyone who doesn't know, anyone who wants to play a game that's too confusing to figure out, we did it, I think like 20 hours of it on stream. Harmony is a game we implemented on stream for the Dungeon Crawler Jam 2023. We didn't do all of it on stream. If you want to play a game that's too confusing to figure out, go ahead and check out Harmony. We did pretty well. On it. 25th overall? That's exciting. And the theme, we did really well on the theme. Gameplay, I can't believe we got 77 on gameplay. Gameplay, we deserved like 200. The gameplay was terrible. It was confusing, but apparently not too confusing. Yes, I'm amazed that anyone figured it out at all. Redston Pro, that's the point of this channel. I like to promote as many people as I can. Are you a streamer, Redston? But yeah, this channel is self-promotion. Feel free to promote yourself. Links, if you want to post a link, let me know ahead of time. I'll give you permission. I didn't know you were a streamer, Redston. Are you a streamer? It shows. So we'll give you a shout out. Redston. Shout out to Redston. Oh, not a streamer. Okay. Well, Redston Pro, you want to post a link? One sec. Permit. Redston Pro. Just a sec. You want to post a link? Let me give you. Go ahead and post a link, my friend, to anything you're working on. We got a duck-faced killer. Thank you, my friend, for following me. Yeah, I said duck-faced killer. I welcome you to the crew today. Thank you very much for following me. I appreciate you greatly. Nick says, well, can I share a link to some of my tutorials? I have a few up on GitHub and YouTube. Yeah, you can, of course. One sec, Nicothin. Permit Nicothin. Let's give you a little bit of a permission there. There you go. Nicothin, if you would like to. Also, folks, we have a Discord. The best place for me to know how to promote you is for you to join the Discord and let me know down in this share area what projects you're working on. Are you a streamer? I love promoting other streamers. So please post yourself in this. You get yourself a little thread in the streamer info here, so I know you. If you have something else you want to just chat about, self-promotion, there's lots of places to promote yourself on the Discord, friends. And while I happen to be over here, folks, I just want to say we're doing a giveaway. You could win yourself your very own Captain Coder hologram, folks. Your very own Captain Coder hologram. This could be yours. It lights up, it slices, it dices. It's guaranteed, folks, to give you up to 17% bonus coding powers, folks. Up to 17% bonus coding powers if you have it on your desk and it's on. When it's off, 3%, up to 3% bonus coding powers. But be sure to get in on that. All you got to do is click that little react. You'll have a chance to win your very own. I will ship it anywhere the United States Postal Service will let me ship it, Shadiest Ghost. Anywhere the United States Postal Service will let me ship it. So if the United States Postal Service will let me ship it, I will ship it. Ship it into space. USPS doesn't support that. We're not shipping with SpaceX, folks. Not shipping with SpaceX. Duckface Killer says, I was thinking of streaming learning obscure, less used language like Elixir. I would watch that. I would totally watch an Erlang Elixir stream. I would love that. You hate your voice, that happens. You shouldn't hate your voice though. You should love your voice. Love yourself like you deserve to be loved, Duckface Killer. Duckfaced Killer. What a great username. Roku says, Redstone Pro, what kind of thing have you made interesting? Shady says, Roku says, sorry, I'm getting caught up. I'm getting lost. Practical NPC, yo, what's up, Shadiest Ghost? Redstone Pro says, that sounds like a cool thing to post. Are your screenshots or GIFs or videos? Redstone, thank you so much for sharing those links. Well, here's my GitHub. Nicothin Gaming, and a fun WebGL game of one of my YouTube tutorials. Fantastic. Connect the dots. Let's check out Connect the Dots, folks. Let's check out Connect the Dots. Oops, that didn't work. Why can't I get you to work? Connect the Dots, made in Unity, folks. NG. MMO says the LED lamp can run on either batteries or via USB. It comes with a USB cable. Yes, it does. It comes with both. Width. We need a girth setting. Where's the girth setting, Nicothin? Where's the girth setting? We need a girth setting for Zuperdan. Zuperdan. I'm gonna do that in the dungeon editor I'm making. There's a dungeon generator I make, so it like generates maps for you by default, and then you can edit them. I'm gonna change width to girth, just for you. Move. What am I supposed to do? All right, connect the dots. Boom. Do I get all the colors connected? Is that what we're doing here? I'm assuming that's what I'm supposed to do. Is the like colors need to get connected. Let's try it. Connected 20 out of 36. What am I missing? I gotta get all this. Do I need to get all of the cells? All right, let's try again. Boop. Boop. There we go. Up. All right, let's. Boom! Game over. Did I win or did I lose? Game over. I wish it did. I feel terrible for complete. Game over. You complete the circuit. You get electrocuted. Now you're done. There is no winning. Gotcha. You thought you were gonna win. Let's try again. Okay, we got this. Come on. We got that. Let's see if we can fill this in here. We get this. Here we go. I got this. Boom. Game over. I lost again. A very cool little game you made, Nicothan. This is, you have a tutorial on YouTube for that. That sounds really cool. The only winners in this game of life are like fungus. Look, the only winning move is not to play. No, play it, check it out. Red Sim versus Captain, you must try Fish Sim. It just runs in the background. It's just an idle game? An idle game, folks. I lost the link, where is it? Here it is, hang on, Fish Sim. Fish Sim, let's check you out. Let's check out the Fish Sim. Well, I gotta download it. I've been trying not to download, do you have a web version maybe? If you have a web version, I'll leave it running in the background. I try not to download and run things on my computer, especially when I'm streaming. That's just a new policy. It's nothing against you, Redston. It's just a new policy I'm doing because I actually got I have reports on, I'm trying to make it just like a default policy not to download and run games while I'm streaming that I haven't done previously for virus purposes. That's just like a policy I'm starting to implement. You are a cool dude. You are a cool dude. I'm sorry, Redston. I'm trying to stick to that. Let's see here. There was so much going on in the chat. There's so much going on in the chat. Shadiest Ghost says, oh, I actually made a Discord token logger recently. Nice. I think it says, it's like the game. The only way to win is to forget about it or be Chuck Norris. No, web games, if it runs in the web browser, I'll check it out. If it runs in the web browser, I'm happy to check it out. I just want to make sure that I can run stuff off anything I have to download, I need to run it off first. Just so you know, because I had a couple people reach out to me and say, hey, watch out. There have been some issues with programs running and sort of like becoming viruses when you download them. I know it's unlikely. Redson, I'm not saying that you're going to do it. I'm trying to make that my default policy. I'm making it my default policy to do that. I won't download and play stuff on stream. If you remind me, maybe send me a message on Discord, remind me to download and do it off stream first, just to check it out. Exactly, I could be infected with something, and you might not even know that your program's infected is the other thing. It's possible for your program to get it, like people to build a program using some tool and have it. I'm so sorry, Redston, I'm so sorry. I feel bad though. I'm trying not to get bamboozled. That's right, real paddywhack, no bamboozling for the captain. Let's see, did we actually, I think we kind of refactored this. Okay, we did a little bit of refactoring here. So I'm gonna say mission accomplished. We're gonna do a commit. We finished task 0, folks, task 0. On stream or off stream. Wait, I don't understand how doing it off stream helps. Can still, I don't want it to show anything on stream and I will play it. So that's right, real patty back. Whoa, I don't want it to accidentally show something so like it has access to my user settings. So it could pull something and share it, like could dox me on accident. The other thing is off stream, I'll be able to run it on a different computer. Exactly, Redston. It could do something nefarious. I'm not saying that you would do that, but that's the idea. I would take it and I'd probably run it on a different computer first, check it out, and then I'd do it on the stream. But yeah, I just don't want anything like that. Yeah, so this is just, this is me being like way overly cautious. We did finish that. Absolutely, Redstone Pro, just remind me. Okay, git status, we're gonna do a commit here. We did a refactor, git commit -m. This was a refactor. Extract parsers into separate files. Like that. We'll push that up. We did a little tiny refactor there, folks. A little tiny refactor. So being here to witness this momentous occasion, folks, you know what? For being here to witness this momentous occasion, all of you are gonna get 50 points because we did it together. I couldn't have done it without you. Maybe I could have, but I prefer not to. I prefer to do it with you, folks, because you guys are beautiful people. I think Redston's using Godot. Let me know if that's right. Rick says, not cautious enough, I'm going back to only doing browser games to feel better myself too. I'm a big fan of browser games. All right, folks, we have been going here for 83 minutes. Hang on, I was gonna say I'm out of coffee, but I'm now out of bean water, folks. No bean water in here. I'm out of dark fuel. I'm almost out of regular water, life fuel. We're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna refill my cup of coffee. When we come back, folks, when we come back, we're gonna do some stretches. So get yourself ready. If you're at work, tell your coworkers the captain's about to do some stretches. Get them in on it. If you're at home, maybe go wake up your mom, wake up your cousin. Maybe you got a roommate. Be like, hey, Bobby, come on, we're gonna do it. Get little Susie, get your cousin, get your bear, and bear with me, folks. Get your bear. Your bear deserves to stretch. Just be careful with that. When we get back, we're gonna take care of ourselves. We're gonna do some stretches. So hang tight, folks. The captain shall return momentarily. All right, folks, thank you so much for bearing with me. I hope that bear didn't get you, but I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready because we're back. I've got this I can't wait to get into this. This coffee's just a little too hot. I can't wait to get in here. This stream's brought to you by Don Francesco's French Roast Dark Coffee, folks. Delicious. I can't wait to take a sip of that. It's a little too hot right now, spicy, burn my lips. So we got to do something while we wait. But while we wait, we're going to do some stretches, folks. The bear didn't get you. I am the bear. Everyone watch out. Patty wax coming. Nicotine, no sugar. Black, no cream, no sugar. I like my coffee black, no cream, no sugar. Sometimes I'll put just a little hint of something in there. But I like the semi-flavored coffee sometimes, so like a little bit of vanilla or something like that. But only rarely. Only when I'm feeling frisky. But everyone, we gotta take care of ourselves. Look, the captain loves you, which means you should love you. And if you
in the back, pay attention.
I see you back there not paying attention. We're gonna get up. We're gonna take care of ourselves. You should love you, and if you love you should love your body. And if you love your body, you gotta take care of it. And one way to take care of your body is to get on up. Get on up, get some stretching. We're gonna do some forearm stretches, folks. If you're like the captain, you're hunched over your coat and you're trolling on the computer here. Maybe you're a cave troll. I'm a coding troll. Maybe you're a cave troll. Maybe you're an internet troll. Who knows? But get on up with me. We're gonna do some stretches, folks. Take those arms. Take those arms. We're gonna do some stretches. We're gonna start with a forearm stretch. Grab those little fingers. Pull them back. Straight arm. Try not to lock the elbow. You don't want to cut up the blood flow. Pull those fingers back and just hold it tight. If you feel any pain, stop. Should be no pain, just a little bit of tension in the forearm. We're gonna hold this for 25 seconds, folks. Get in there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Real Pack says, I like my coffee. Like I like my energy drinks. I prefer energy drinks. Well, fair enough. I like the things I drink to taste pleasant. I have yet to find an energy drink that I was like, oh, that tastes good. When I was at my last startup, drank a lot of Red Bull there. We had the Red Bull fridge. Many hours spent at that place. Then we gotta caffeinate. Go ahead and roll that wrist out, folks. Roll that wrist out. We're gonna go the other way. We're stretching across the top, fingers down. Grab those fingers and pull down until you feel a little bit of tension. If you feel any pain in the wrist, stop. Any pain at all, stop. You don't want to hurt yourself. You want to love yourself. Take care of that body. 25 seconds. Let's go. 25 seconds on the clock, folk. 25 seconds to give it a nice little stretch here. Roiku, I think I missed it in the chat. When I was getting my coffee, I was going like, oh, I think I remember Roiku saying suggesting changing office hours times. Yeah, so that time happens to be convenient for me, but I'd love to find times that work for more people for the office hours. And people who don't know what office hours are, go ahead and roll those wrists down. Roll that wrist out. We're gonna switch here. Get that other arm, straight arm. Don't lock that elbow. Don't want to cut up the blood flow. Grab those fingers, pull back, stretch them out. I like to do something called office hours, which is on the Discord. So we do a little Discord streaming. This week we are going to have I'm going to do a little bit of a lesson. On delegate types in C#. What the heck's a delegate? Why should you use them? When should you not use them? And how do they work? We're going to look at delegates, folks, in C#. And then after that short little lesson, 20-25 minutes, little lesson there, we're going to hop in. I'm going to answer your questions. You can post them on the Discord. Your questions on office hours. You get to share your project. So, Redson, if you can make it tomorrow for office hours, be a great time to show off your projects to everybody. And then also you can suggest topics. All right, go ahead and roll that wrist out. If you can't make it, that's okay. But I'm going to start trying to have more office hours, folks. Be a little bit more structured than having to pass fingers down. Grab those fingers and pull. Get a little tension across the top there. Real Pedic Wax says, well, if artificial sweeteners aren't a turnoff for you, I'd highly recommend giving Ghost a go. Artificial sweeteners depends on, do you know what type of artificial sweeteners? You say, it's a solid blend that makes me feel energized without being jittery and taste great. I might have to give it a try. Artificial sweeteners tend to give me like upset stomach. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, artificial sweeteners tend to make my stomach a little bubbly and bothered. I don't know exactly what it is, but anytime I have artificial sweetener, that tends to be the case. Go and roll that wrist out. Oh yeah. Didn't that feel good? Shake it out. Shake it out, folks. Let's get another stretch in here. I'm gonna move my chair. My chair's in the way. I do have a chair in here. People always, I do stand. I don't like the artificial sweeteners. I have had artificial sweetener. They tend to upset my stomach. We're gonna stretch up real quick, folks. Take feet shoulder width apart. Reach on up into the air. Oh, reach on up, stretch up as high as you can. Engage that core. Keep that balance. Get up on those tippy toes and stretch. We're gonna just hold this for 10 seconds, folks. Hold it for 10 seconds, get a full body stretch going there. You're feeling your calves, feeling your uppers. Can you do 60 push-ups for us? Maybe. That feels like it might take a long time, young K-man. I don't know if I could do 60 push-ups. Maybe. I might be able to. I could probably do 20 before I was too tired. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, you're gonna hinge at the hips. Hinge at the hips and just hang. Oh. Be careful not to lock your knees. You don't want to cough the blood flow and faint. But we're just going to hang here for 20 seconds. We're working on a lower back stretch. Do not focus on arching your back. Instead, focus on hinging at the hips. If you can touch the ground, that's awesome. If you can't touch the ground, we're just building it up. But just going to hang here for 10 more seconds, folks. And just breathe normally. Enjoy the hang here. In a moment, we're going to inhale for 5 seconds. In a moment, as you inhale, slowly roll up. Here we go. Inhale. Slowly roll up. And shoulders up, back, and down. We're going to do some shoulder rolls and back. 2, 3, 4. Add the elbows. 2, 3, 4. Full arm. 2, 3, 4. Bring it forward. 2, 3, 4. Add the elbows. 2, 3, 4. Full arms. 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah. Excellent stretches, folks. Thank you, everybody, for joining me in that. Thank you for taking care of yourself. Thank you for loving yourself. Thank you for loving your body. And thank you for being here with me, for joining me in those stretches, because I know you did. I know you did. All of you get 50 points, my friends. Thank you so much for doing that with me. Thank you for taking care of yourselves. Let's see here. Rick says, office hours have been okay now, but like a week ago, the office hours were after midnight for me and Dramels. Yeah, so that was like my afternoon. So I think I was holding them at like 2 o'clock my time or something, which would seem to be pretty late for you guys. Your shoulder sounds crunchy, Deborah. Well, sometimes you just gotta work that out. Sometimes you gotta work it out a little bit. Here we go. Shady is can't stretch, busy writing docs that only I will ever read. Well, just make sure you don't sit there too long. You gotta get up sometimes. Move around, get that blood flowing. So what are we working on next? Whoa, real patty whack. That's correct. Real patty whack with the whoa. Thank you for the whoa. I appreciate it. We added in a Boolean type yesterday, but we can't do anything with it. You know what I'm realizing? We have a Boolean type. We have no ifs. So I actually want to add in a binary conditional operator. Before we do the Boolean operators, though, we need to add in add ternary operator. If bool, we need to add in a ternary operator. If operator. So we're gonna put that in there in our list. But first, I'm gonna do binary conditional operators. I don't know if we'll actually finish this today. Based on how much progress I've managed to make so far, it seems unlikely. But we're gonna try. We're gonna try adding in binary conditional operators. So this would be like less than and greater than. Those are the two that I'm gonna shoot for. I'm gonna add those in. Then we first have to add them into our AST, our abstract syntax tree. Then we have to be able to parse them in. And so there's gonna be a little step to get it going there in that regard. So I didn't actually refactor my expressions yet, and that was one of my plans here. But we're gonna just hop down here to the bottom, and I want to do a record here. So it's gonna be a public record. We're gonna go with greater than, a greater than expression. And often it's called just a GT expression. And so again, we have an I expression left and an I expression right. And we'll probably end up doing a binary operator like this. And so binary operator with left, right. And it's gonna return a different type of value though. So the perform here for the I value is gonna end up being a Boolean. All right, so we're gonna do a new bool value. And so we're gonna do left to int, right to int, and then we're just use greater than here to do it. So this should get us a greater than expression. Similar, we'll have a less than expression. Less than expression. Left, right, and this will be a less than expression. And then I want the EQ, the equality expression. Equality expression. And this will just be the double equals there. All right, so we're gonna give that a shot. We've added in greater than, less than, equality. So, and then we'll probably end up adding in like the and expression, and we'll make that greater than, equal to be sort of, so you might say like, well, why don't you have a greater than or equal to, less than, equal? Wouldn't you want to do that? We're gonna probably make that some syntactic sugar for the combination of greater than and equal to, but we'll see how we do it in a little bit. We're gonna keep going. Nicothan says, I started using delegates a few months ago. You might want to mention Unity actions and Unity events. Yeah, so on the Discord, someone, I think it was Angel Bear. So on the Discord, come down to chats here, or help resource. Where did I put it? I put it somewhere silly. Live stream. Okay, office hours here. If you want to suggest an additional topic, hang on, let me go here. Office hours. So we're gonna start out by talking about C# delegates, and then suggest your questions, projects. It's gonna be a first post, first serve. So if you post something in here, we might run out of time, so I can only go for 2 hours. But they often run longer after that as well. Angel Blair said, how about using them in games? When should I use them in games? I will almost certainly talk about them here. That said, Unity actions and Unity events are not actually delegates. They're not delegates. They're like a whole class. So it's not quite the same thing, but you can think about them in a similar fashion. So we will probably look at that. Real Pattyworks says, also just Pattyworks. It's that, if that's easier, always feel bad people who think they have to say the whole thing. I love the real Pattywhack. Real Patty. What if I call you the real Patty? No, real Pattywhack, it's easy to say. Real Pattywhack. It's like real is not even a full syllable, it sees. The dev says, ayo, ayo, dev dad come and he gonna write code. I say, ayo, welcome dev dad to the stream. Dev dad, folks, if you guys aren't following the dev dad, oh, why can't I ever get it right the first time? The Dev Dad, folks, absolutely amazing software developer, streamer, and father. The trifecta. Who could ask for more? Building a productivity app embedder in his spare time. You can watch it unfold on his stream. What are you waiting for? Go check it out. That was an amazing song rhyme combo. Well, look. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. And mostly we try to remember the times that do work. Because, you know, they don't think it be like it is, but it do, my friend, but it do. All right, so we added in these to our syntax tree. Greater than, less than, equality. We gotta add parsers for these now. So I'm gonna create a new parser file. This is gonna be our arithmetic parsers, conditional parsers. There. Nicholas says, I was expecting you to tell him to go home, but I was happy to hear the change. Yeah, happy to hear the change. Yeah. Daylight come and the dev dad have to go home. Oh, that would have been good. I did daylight because, you know, your son wakes up. Daylight come and the dev dad goes, dad. That's right. Something like that. That's terrible. Real Pettyback says, code all night till the morning sun. GitHub's PR. Code all night till the morning sun. GitHub's PRs till the morning come. That's right. Lamau, amazing. Does anyone pronounce LMAO as Lamau? There was a really funny, I wish I had the YouTube video just ready to go. There's a really funny video that someone did as a prank on these teenage kids where it was like they pretended to be the FBI and they like brought them into this they were like, what's going on? They brought them into the interrogation room and they're like, yeah, we you've been texting about Lamau, like, and basically saying it's like some North Korean dictator or something, Lim Mao and Lim Mao's sister Lim Phao. And the guy just like losing his mind. Le Mousy Dong, yeah. And then the kids are like losing their mind. They're like, no, that's not what Lim Mao means. That's not what Lim Fao means. That's just like a funny thing to me. Is that that might be, now that I'm saying it out loud, it feels like that might not fly today. That might be racially insensitive to the names of like a Korean name like that. What do people think? Well, maybe we shouldn't talk about the deep topics like that. That topic might be too deep for this stream. So we want to parse the left side. So I want to do, we'll start with the generic one. Public static parser of type expression. Not an expression. This is an I expression. Parser I expression. This is going to be the greater than expression parser. Like this. Oh, I forgot to reset my break timer. Shame on me, folks. When I forget to reset my break timer, I'm gonna add points, 50 points to all of you fine folks for witnessing me make a mistake, because we're all human. But I try not to make mistakes, and this is hopefully will remind me not to make that mistake in the future. Kristen Pro says, money! Them points be like money. That's true. True, we will. Greater than expression. Inflation, and we're going to use link syntax from...
Whoa.
That's right, Real Pettywhack. Whoa. Real Pettywhack, thank you for the whoa, my friend. I appreciate it. Hello, my name is Stakes. Miss Stakes. Miss Stakes, so nice to meet you. Have you met Miss Stakes? Someone asked as I wrote code, they were just mistakes to me. And all at once my code did break, and all at once my code would not compile, and all at once my program threw an exception. From leading in, let's see here, parser dot parsers dot should just be parser, parse dot white space, parse dot where, parse dot white space dot mini. So we're gonna take the leading off there. Shadiest inflation, that's right. You've met mistakes. From leading, we're gonna pull it out. Now we want to pull in the greater expression. Basically, we're gonna find, we have a little helper for this already. This is gonna be the GT symbol. This would be parse.care. This would be parsing a greater than there. Oh no, we need a left symbol. We need a left expression and a right expression. From left expert in, essentially we're gonna parse any expression, right? This is interesting. Left expression. Is it just an arithmetic expression? That might be the case. Left expression is just any arithmetic expression. Arithmetic expression is a number. Eventually a bool will be in there as well. Where did we put bool? Where is bool in our parser? Hang on, we got so much garbage floating around here. Garbage is the wrong. We got so many files open around here. Anyone else do that? You're like, it's like I feel like I'm in Chrome sometimes when I VS Code. I have all these tabs open. Which ones are important? None of them. Wait, don't I write any code of value? No, I don't. I don't write any code of value. It shouldn't necessarily be a numeric expression. I guess it's not quite just a generic any expression is the thing. Arithmetic expression feels wrong. Where did I put bool? Oh, bool is still just at the top level. We're going to my generic parsers. Finished writing doc for your bots. Congrats, Shadiest. For accomplishing your goals, my friend. For accomplishing your goals, 50 points to you. Congratulations on finishing your doc. I hope it works too. Nika then says, I've got 7 tabs and all are in use. Yeah, I had like 10 open and I was using 2. There's too many. You can just call me Lucy. Call me Lucy. I'll try to remember that. So, Shadiest Goat and then Lucy, those two things don't quite match up. I'll try and call you Lucy. Lucy, 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 welcome to the show. All right, so I'll go with just expression for now. But this likely will need to be something that's not an expression. So we'll just go with a generic expression for now. Expression. Or die slang expression. Just gotta remember, who do you have? Who do you love? I love Lucy. That's right. That's nice. Well, thanks, Dad. Thanks, Dad, for that. After we parse that expression, we're gonna parse a white space after. And then we parse that. This is interesting because it's gonna turn into, this is gonna be that recursive thing where we can we chain these together? No, that's interesting. We can't have a chain of greater than and less than stuff together. So that's a nice little convenient thing to recognize right here. We're gonna chain some white space after, and then we're gonna do our right expression. It'll be our right exper after, put an underscore after. Terrible names here, folks, terrible names. I feel like I want like this thing of like a token parse where I'll just give it several things and the white space mini goes between them. That would be a nice little helper, right? Right expression. And then we're just gonna select new greater than expression with left exper, right exper. Okay, that works pretty well. We can repeat this process. Notice the pain. I'm doing copy and pasting. What do we call that, folks, when we copy and paste? What is that? What does the captain call it? When we do a copy and paste, folks, I know Dev Dad earlier, you were like, I love the copy, paste, replace. JD's Code says we call that a good practice. We call that reusable code. We call that reusable code. No, look at this copy paste. Look how horrific this feels. When you do this, you should feel bad. You should be equality expression. When you do this sort of thing, you should feel bad, folks. All right, we need to parse string. In this case, we want the double equals. Look, I'm doing it and I feel real bad about it. I'm feeling terrible. We call this, at Captain's Coder Academy, we call this a smell. You get out and spank it. Real patty whack. I'm gonna click allow that. The auto mod wasn't sure it liked that one. We call that a good practice reusable code. I haven't had the pleasure of knowing you that long. The lifeblood of a developer. The one use case for OOP factory functions also exists. It's real bad when you forget to update some small bit. Exactly. What we call this over here at Captain Coders Academy, we call this a smell. You smell that? Oh, that's a little stinky. That's a little stinky because what if I decide I want to change something about it? I got to change it in all of these places. It's a little bit smelly. So just use a factory function, please. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to abstract this. We're going to abstract it. But before we do that, we got Digo double D's. Digo double, thank you for following with Digo double D. Thank you so much for the follow, my friend. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Captain Coders Academy. Happy to have you here. And we also got Greg's 0622. Greg 0622, I'd like to welcome you to the crew. Yes, Greg 0622, how are you on this beautiful day? Greg, thank you so much for following. Welcome to Captain Coders Academy. Happy to have you here on this beautiful day, my friend. I hope it's a beautiful Monday for you. It's a beautiful day here in my neck of the woods. But yeah, we're gonna abstract this because gosh, doesn't this look terrible? We're gonna head up here, private static parser, I expression. We're gonna call this a conditional exper, and this is gonna be a function. There's gonna be a function that's gonna take in it's taking a string symbol, and then it's also gonna take in the constructor. It's going to take in a constructor. So I'm going to use a delegate here. This one's going to be a function of an I expression, and then I expression. Is that right? It returns two I expressions and dinners. That's going to be our constructor. constructor like this. And essentially it's going to do this. It's essentially going to do this. We're going to do a return like this. Instead of doing parse char here, we're going to do a parse.symbol, parse.string on our symbol. And then instead of greater than expression, we're just going to call our constructor here. All right, so that's the abstraction. Notice the abstraction we had was the symbol, and this chunk here changed. And now these just are going to be forwarded off to our conditional expert with the, in this case, greater than. And then the constructor here is left, right, goes to new greater than expression of left, right. Check that out. Look at that. Look at how beautiful, look at how nice that is. We're gonna take this, we're boop, get away. But Captain, you're copy and pasting right now. Look, if we have less, look how many fewer lines I'm copying and pasting them. Less than the symbol. We're gonna do a less than expression here. Look how much simpler it is to edit this out now. Equality expression like that. Double equals less than, greater than, and this will be equality expression. Look how beautifully this reads in my what is it? Look how beautiful this is in my opinion. 44 lines of config, Shadiest Goat says. Let's see here. What did I miss here? Real Penny says, oh, and that doesn't rip up Automod. I missed it. I missed whatever happened here. I'm sorry I missed something, but we got a new crew member, folks. Goat meal, my friend. Yeah, we've got a goat meal in the audience, and I thank you for following me. Yeah, we've got goat meal. Thank you for following me today. Oh yeah. I can't quite get that low. Goat meal, I'm sorry, I couldn't get that low. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the crew, my friend. Happy to have you here. The Dev Dad says, I do it as a guide. Listen, just because you're a less than doesn't mean you're any less than other symbols. You're not less than other symbols. You're just as important as your friend's less than symbol. She just says, I'm sorry, who here is goat meal? I'd like to have a small chat with them. Yes, indeed. So this parser actually seemed a lot simpler than I thought it was going to be. So this was pretty nice. Now we got to add this to our original expression. So I'm a little bit worried here. I'm a little bit worried about the, I'm doing die-slang expression here, I'm a little bit worried about how to add this conditional expression to our die-slang expression without it ending up with an infinite recursion. So I'm slightly concerned that if I were to come over here to just my generic parsers, and then so bool value, arithmetic value, or conditional I gotta do we'll do a generic one. All right, so we're gonna call this conditional expression helper, and then we'll have a generic private static parser iExpression conditional expr. And this one is going to be our greater than expression or our less than expression or our equality expression. So it's one of those three things. It has to be one of those three things. Then we take our conditional expression. I'm going to add it here to my generic die-slang expression. I think there could be an infinite recursion here. I'm not 100% sure. But we're gonna find out. This is a good example of extraction. I do find instances to be unclear judgment call. Yeah, so it depends on, I agree, Dev Dad, copy and paste. I always say that's a code smell. If you're copying and pasting more than like 2 lines of code, in my opinion, that typically deserves an abstraction. That said, over abstraction can end up in like a really, really bad place. where nothing, there's just like millions of little tiny things and nothing quite makes sense. That would be one little thing here. I think this is relatively clear though. I think, in my opinion, this is relatively clear what's going on. You do have to understand this delegate here. Like, what the heck is this delegate doing? Why am I using it this way? I think the word constructor tries to make it clear. H. Mendoza, welcome my friend to the chat. I missed you so. H. Mendoza, welcome back, my friend. Happy to have you here. Happy to have you here. H. Mendoza, did you know we're doing a giveaway? Did you know we're doing another giveaway this week? We're doing another giveaway. Last week, we did a giveaway. And our very own Retinator won this beautiful Captain Coder mug. I'll be shipping that off tomorrow. But this week, we're giving away Captain Coder hologram. You get yourself your very own Captain Coder hologram over on the giveaways channel. You got to just hop in there, click that little ta-da button. That enters you to win the Captain Coder hologram, which is guaranteed, folks. Guaranteed to give you up to 17% bonus coding powers. Clayman says, I used to go super heavy into abstraction back in the day, but nowadays I do way too little abstraction that the code starts to be a little bit smelly. It's hard to find. It's really hard to find a balance. I agree with that. I always tell my students, as a developer, one of your primary goals is to manage the complexity of your program, which is difficult to do. It's one of the most difficult things to do, I believe. Duckface says, I miss delegates from C#. Also mocking in TypeScript / JavaScript is awful. I haven't done it enough over there. Yeah, I would be curious about it. Interfaces are essentially like I was gonna say the poor man's delegate. You can do stuff with interfaces for delegating. It's just not quite as simple. Lance, welcome back, my friend. Happy to have you here. Duckface, make your code so complicated they can never fire you. So the challenge with that is you gotta understand it yourself. You gotta understand it. I've been hired as a contractor many times on code bases where I felt like, wow, the coder here really was trying to just make their job secure, weren't they? Clayman's reply, Roku says, I tried to raid you, but you weren't online. It happens. Clayman, folks, if you haven't, Clayman dev, folks. Clayman, what an incredible human being. What an amazing person. Clayman Dev is an epic indie game developer working on a game called Epic Hero Game. The name matches the man, folks. Got to check this thing out. Clayman, I love this Steam page. I want a new clip here. I need a new clip. Maybe maybe you could just send. Do you have any clips you can send me? I would love to set it up on the channel and give you a shout out to show it. That said, folks, this game's gonna be amazing. Coming out later this year. You gotta come here. You gotta wishlist it. You gotta check out Clayman Dev stream. 2 streams almost every day, Monday through Friday in the morning. But Clayman, thank you so much for popping in, my friend. Happy to have you here. Happy to see you on this. I hope you're having a beautiful Monday. That's really how I feel. I hope you're having a beautiful Monday. Rick says, I never knew of a time when Clayman Dev wasn't online though. I think lately you've been taking more time off stream because you're approaching that release, right? You're releasing this summer. It's looking awesome, by the way. All right, so we have this parser. Let's write a test. Let's write ourselves a unit test. And this is going to be for our conditional parsers test. I'm just going to duplicate this. Call it conditional parsers test. And really maybe it's just a conditional test because I'm always testing out the actual functionality. Or conditional parsers test. And we're going to test, test greater than. All right, test greater than. And so I'll get rid of this. We're going to test a very simple thing. We'll do 5 greater than 3, and then we'll do 2 greater than 1, and then we will do 1 greater than, or 7 greater than 7. We'll try this. We'll try and generate these expressions and test them out in this way. And test greater than, and maybe test, here, we're going to do test 5 greater than, test greater than, I'm going to make this actually, we're going to play around with the quote unquote, what was it? Theory. And so we'll make this thing take in two digits, int left, int right, to be our left and right side. Put it into a theory. So yeah, so then I do a theory, and we'll start with 5, 3. How do I convert it to a theory? What am I doing wrong here? I always forget how to do this, and then it works out. Convert to theory. Theory. Oops, not what I meant to do. Theory. How do I? All right, I gotta look at how to do theories in XUnit again. I've done it. XUnit theory. XUnit theory. Creating a parameterized test in XUnit. Facts. Bring me to your theory. Theory. Inline data. Okay. Inline data. Here we go. 3, 5. So this is like writing multiple unit tests, but we parameterize it. Why is it saying left? Oh, it's never used. 3, 5, 2, 1, and 7, 7. So we're gonna test out these combinations, which should give us, this one should be true, this one should be false, and this one should be false. Oh, dang, I can't do this. I can't do that. Never mind. This isn't gonna work the way I want. Test. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Oh, I could. I guess I can make it work. I feel like it might be a little bit strange to do it. Let's give it a shot. Clayman says, I've been working on pitch deck off stream so I can keep doing what I love full time. Nice. Fingers crossed all works out. Fingers crossed for you, my friend. Best of luck with it. Clayman says, I did put you to the credits on the demo build, Captain. Really? What did I do on the demo? I don't think I did anything for the demo build. Did I do have I done anything? Interesting. Or is it just because you love me? Because I love you too, Clayman. Oh, it's because you put me in there for the Durko tan cap. Durko tan cap. That's what it is. Gotcha. Because of the hat. Gotcha. Yeah, there's a character, folks. If you ever see the name, it's in a couple games now. Durko tan cap. That's my pseudonym. If you say it backwards, it's Cap Tan Coder. Cap Tan Coder. So if you see Durko tan cap, that's my pseudonym. All right, so in this case, we're gonna do the following. We'll create 2 expressions. So we're gonna have an int value left val is equal to a new int value of left. Int value right val. The new int, and I don't need this here. New. Stupid VS Code, right? Like this. Captain Coder. Yes, correct. That's correct, Mooniz. That's correct. And then we create the expression. We'll call this a greater than expression. GT expr is going to be equal to a new left val and a right val, like that. This is the greater than expression that we want. And then ideally we can test it out. So we do assert dot equal. It should be equal to new bool value of This should be left greater than right. This is our expected. Okay, so I created bool expected is equal to left greater than right. And so we'll say we're expected that gtexpr.evaluate to bool. To bool is what we get. So after we evaluate the expression, it should be this. That should be straightforward. Then we want to go ahead and see if we can parse this in. Nicothan says Rudoc NatPack Captain Coder. Rudoc. So the code Rudoc. Maybe Rudoc NatPack. Cap. I see, but that is. I see what you did there, because that is it essentially like attraverse. I was going for the syllables. I was going Rudoc NatPack. I like that too. Took me a second. My brain's like, what the heck is Rudoc NatPack? It does sound orcish. Rudoc NatPack. Here we go. We're gonna evaluate this. We're gonna parse it in now. So we're gonna try using our parsers. So parsers dot expression, dice laying expression dot try. Where's the try parse? I always get confused on this. Shouldn't it be? Oh, I gotta. Okay, it's because I haven't imported using Sprack. Sprack's the parser combinator library we're doing. Dot try parse of we'll do left greater than right. Okay, so we do left greater than right like this, and I'm gonna add in a bunch of extra. I should probably do some with a variety of different white spaces in general. But when we parse this, we'll get an I result, I expression, result expr. This should work, so it should be an assert true result expr dot was successful, so it should have been successful there. Moona says, I was going to make a joke about you tanning in light mode and singing in dur scales. But then I realized dur is what it's called in Swedish, and it's major in English. Yeah, it's a major, the major scales, not the major scales. Recap tan coder. Exactly. All right, so we're parse our dice laying here. It should be true. We should be able to do result expr dot value on this, and I'm expecting it to be a greater than like this. So this should be an assert dot equal greater or gt expr like that. So this is the expectations I have. Let's check it out. Dirko Nightbach. That's right. Klingon, Orcish. What's the diff? Let's run this test. Dirko Tancap secretly taking over the world. Look, one coder at a time. They all failed. Let's take a look at why they failed. Let's run it here in VS Code so we get some debug stuff going on. Interesting. I'm curious what failed here. Let's give it a shot here. But Mr. Natural, welcome back, my friend. Happy to have you here. What's the day? Happy Monday. Happy Monday, my friend. How are you, Mr. Natural? You still getting out? My friend? I know you've been getting out a lot lately. I hope you're still doing that. And I hope you're enjoying yourself. This was false. Oh, we weren't able to parse left greater than right. Did I update dice laying expression? Our conditional expression isn't working. Do you know that apricot dance is an anagram for Captain Coder? Is it really? I'm gonna have to own, man. Did you put that in a program, or did you just realize that yourself? Was there a program used to find an anagram? Apricot dance. That's hilarious. That's too funny. Heading out now. Lots of things to do today, Mr. Natural says. Sleeping really good these days. You so happy to hear it. Enjoy your day, Mr. Natural. You know what I'm gonna say. Keep coding, keep growing, be the best you can be, and you are welcome back anytime, my friend. Nikithin says, I've used anagram websites for my classes. Nice. You're an English teacher, is that right, Nikithin? I should write an anagram checker. That would be a great use. There's a couple ways you could do it. I think it'd be a really great use of learning how dictionaries work. I used to do like a histogram, but an anagram would be really interesting because you would go through and you'd say, well, how many letters are each of these, and then do the 2 letters match. You could do like an anagram checker, and then you could extend it using some kind of dictionary. Dictionary would be harder to do, but I can imagine. That would be using a trie. You could use a trie, TRIE, to do an anagram builder. Mooney says, I wish I was smart enough, but other programs were involved. I did provide the prompts though. Oh, other programs. You asked the chat gupped. That's what it sounds like to me. Let's just try condition expr first here. I'm gonna try condition expr. We're gonna replace this in our test with condition expr. Conditional expr is not public. Oh, interesting. This should be public. Blazer, Mr. Magoo. Blazer, Mr. Magoo, taking over the Mr. role by nature. That's right. Blazer, Mr. Magoo. What a great name you have on you, my friend. The Blazer, Mr. Magoo. Blazer, is that because of the web framework Blazer by any chance? Nice name though. Blazer, Mr. Magoo. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Let's give this a shot here. Should still fail, but I'm just curious. Okay, still fails. Let's put, these are so hard to debug sometimes. White space, dice-ling expression. Really, this should be an arithmetic expression. Arithmetic expression on the left side and right side. When you do greater than, it has to be an arithmetic expression. Yeah, it does. Let's give that a shot. Can we just do parentheses without... I'm gonna have to write some more tests here. I don't think this is gonna work either. We're gonna check. I'm gonna have to... Okay, that was it. It was... Okay, so... Alright, so we have a thing that can parse these. I would like to add in some optional parentheses on it as well. Let's see here. Can we do conditional expr inner? Let's try the following. Public that private. We're gonna add in a public that conditional expr. And we're gonna actually say that this is either with parentheses conditional expr or just a conditional expr with parentheses. The call is ambiguous between parsers dot parsers dot. Why is it ambiguous? Between parsers dot with percent and parsers dot with parentheses. Weird. Blade says anagram Red Taco Panic. Red. We've got it. That sounds like a good name for a game. Is this a real error? Red Taco Panic. I want to play that video game, friends. I want to play that video game. All right, let's rerun this, see if it still passes. And then we're gonna see if we're gonna add in parentheses to it as well. Maybe this is the wrong place to put the with parentheses, but I'm amazed at how long these tests actually take. Maybe my next game should be based on just a random title. Sounds like what happens after I eat Taco Bell. Maybe the red taco panic. People say that about Taco Bell. I've never had that issue. Okay, so I think we have this in our language now. Get add. In my language, did I add my dice-ling? Does have conditional expression. Let's give it a shot. Get status. Let's go to our REPL. cdcaptaincoder.diceling.repl. Taco Bell is one of my guilty pleasures. I don't eat it very often, but I love. This is not a sponsorship, by the way. I personally really enjoy how disgusting Taco Bell is. Let me put it that way. Taco Bell is one of my deepest guilty pleasures. Is just like I love their ground beef. I love their ground beef, which is like it does have a little bit of beef in there, but it's mostly garbanzo beans. And I don't get any sort of. I know some people get some red taco panic from it, but I don't. I chop that up to my high fiber diet. Because it turns out Taco Bell's beef has a lot of I think it's a lot of garbanzo beans in it. Red Cabin Game said, sounds like a great way to do a game jam instead of a theme, just giving one a pretty ambiguous game name. I was thinking that it'd be like the random name game jam. So you have to design a game around a random name. Love that. Red Cabin Games, thank you so much for being here, my friend. Shout out, Red Cabin Games. If you guys enjoy the Swedish, and you should, the Swedish is incredible. And the Red Cabin Games is Swedish, folks. An incredibly talented Swedish game dev. I don't think I have a Red Cabin Games. I don't think I have a Red Cabin Games command yet. But Red Cabin Games, thank you so much for being here. How are you on this beautiful Monday, my friend? But yeah, Red Cabin Games making a game in Unity. Incredibly fun stream over there. But go check it out. Go check it out. Red Cabin Games, thank you for being here, my friend. Happy Monday. That's right, Mooniz is also Swedish. Approved with Red Cabin Games with White Corners Games. We're gonna go try our REPL.NET build. We're gonna build it first. And we're gonna do a run here. We might have arithmetics.net run. All right, we're gonna try out our dice lang thing. Can I do 5 greater than 7? I can't. Nothing works. Repeat 1604 5 times. Okay, so we had interesting. We got a Stack Overflow. That's surprising to me. 5 greater than 7 gave us a Stack Overflow. That's funny. To me, I don't know why that's funny. Let's come back to our conditional parser test. I was saying that I think there's a Stack Overflow. I think there's a recursive bug in here is what I originally said. Right, conditional expression works that way. If I just try and do a dice lang expression, do I get the same Stack Overflow here? Let's run these tests. Let's see if they all fail. No problem, Red Cabin Games. No, thank you for being here, and thank you for being amazing, and thank you for being awesome. We're happy to have Red Cabin Games here in the chat, friends, in the stream. This works. Why didn't that work? What is the what? Let's add 5 greater than 3. What did I type into? Let's open up my terminal here. 5 greater than 7. Inline data 5 greater than 7. .NET run. Let's give it a shot. No, not that one. I wanted to run these tests again. I actually need to rediscover the test. We are discovering tests, and while we discover those tests, we're gonna sing a song called Red Cabin Games. My friend is here today in the chat with us, and we thank you so much for being here. Fix your build and try to run the tests again. Oh, that's what I'm doing. 5 greater than 7. I don't know. Get parsers. Maybe. Okay. Looks like we're actually getting some failures now. Run tests. All right. I think I just hadn't rebuilt. I think I hadn't hit save and it hadn't rebuilt. All right. This would make sense that I'd get. I think it makes sense. All right. Stack Overflow me, baby. So that way, at least I know that we have a stack over. Okay. Reproducible bugs. We like the reproducible bugs. Stack Overflow. What is happening with this? Likely, where am I? Okay. Likely coming back up to the top in our parser, dice lang, bool value, arithmetic expression, conditional expression. Is anything coming back to dice lang? What references? 2. We have 2 references. Program.tryparse. Interesting. Why are we getting... it works if I do just conditional expression. Arithmetic expression on the left, arithmetic expression on the right. It's not recursive on itself. What recursion are we having here? Okay, let's come in here. We're gonna do a debug approach. Let's use the debugger, folks. Print lines aren't gonna save us here. Let's do a debug and see if we can follow this stack trace. Let's step into, and we are in the dice lang, so we should end up in conditional expression. I think we step into it's gonna. Debugging these parsers is actually quite a challenge. Conditional expression. Let's change you to a get. And this will be a return. like this with parenthesis. Why is this error here? Reload this window. I think that's a phantom error. One thing that VS Code does do poorly, that Visual Studio, I've never had phantom errors in Visual Studio. VS Code, I do often end up with phantom errors if I am using multiple assemblies. Will this allow me to debug a little bit more? That said, my conditional expression isn't the one. Okay, can I look? All right, let's look at our stack trace here. In our stack trace, are there any hints here? Shady Scout says, I'm almost done with it, but just finished writing docs and the README. Just gonna upload it to GitHub and test on prod now. Good luck, my friend. I got my fingers crossed for you, Shadiest Goat. My fingers crossed for you, my friend. Are there any hints here? I'm gonna go do my unit test. Let's create a new shell. Want some hints. I need the hints. Dice lang, Captain Coder, dice lang tests. .NET tests. Can I get any hints from the error message is what I'm hoping for. They're private methods, so I might not be able to get the right types of hints. I might have to make them internal methods and share them, make it a friendly binary. Unable to read data from the transport connected and existing was fully forcible, killed by the host. We got a Stack Overflow, parsers.get conditional expr. Because this is basically saying it's a property of conditional expr, and so there's this magic method that gets created. IEnumerable care. Taking a look here, seeing if we can get this is in the park. 98 files. That's a lot of files. Although it's not that much. When you really think about it, depending on how you've structured it, that could be completely reasonable. 8.8k lines. Code Red Games. Hey, hope you're doing good, Code Red Games. I'm doing fabulous, Code Red Games. How are you on this beautiful days? How are you doing on this beautiful Monday, my friend? I hope it's a beautiful day for you. Folks, if you guys don't know Code Red Games, sorry. Code Red Games, folks. If you guys don't know Code Red Games, look on this screen. You see on the screen, you're seeing Rogue Blight. An amazing game. If you want a game that's difficult, where you gotta fight your way through enemies, it is a game that's gonna chew you up, spit you out, but leave you begging for more. You're gonna fight this gorilla. This gorilla's gonna stomp you into the ground like a mud bug. But you're gonna love every moment of it. If you love games that are hard, Souls-like, rogue-like, you gotta go check it out. Click on that Steam link, folks. Scroll on down, add it to your wish list, because you're gonna want to know when this game comes out. It's gonna be Game of the Year 2024. Code Red, thank you for being here, my friend. Happy Monday to you. Shady says, what? Hey, Code Red. Oh, yeah, that's what I say. Hey, Code Red. What am I... Invoke method. There's an infinite recursion, and it makes me real sad. And it makes me feel bad. And feel so sad about the infinite recursion that is being had. I was hoping, let's put a break point here. I was hoping to see if, are we making it, I feel like we're not making it to conditional expression. Because if I do just conditional expression, it works. Oh, you know what it is? I know exactly what it is. Arithmetic expression, bool value. I think actually all we got to do, conditional expr or. We got to just promote this up because the recursion, we're getting stuck here, I'm pretty sure. Conditional. This is where parsers are entering the order matters. The order matters. All right, does that... Let's try these again. Because it needs to be left recursive. This doesn't look like it's gonna help. You gonna help me? Hello? Can I give me a little hand there? Did not help. So interesting in our parser tests. when I'm doing, if I do conditional expression here, might have to do a rediscover on these. This is fascinating. Okay, does that not fix it? I thought we had fixed it. Please pass the test today. What did they were passing. Oh dear. Is this the only, is it because of this one specifically? I'm gonna take a look here. Is the 5 greater than 7? Because these were passing for a hot second, I thought. For just one hot second they were passing. They're failing now. What about my other tests? Do my other tests pass still? This is why you write unit tests, folks, because you'll know if you broke it. Because you might go broke if you broke it and don't know, and you ship it and then you lose. Test not found. It like can't even build. What? This is wild. Can't even build right now. Okay, it is building. Can the whole project not build? What is going on? Why can't I discover the test? Do I have the wrong project selected? There it goes. Select project. Should be the, okay, has the solution selected. Let's run them all. It should, these conditional parsing tests were failing, and that's okay. I mean, I might need to just revert this one change to get them passing again. My question is, dice-laying expressions not being referenced anywhere. Yeah, that kills it. Let's drop this. Let's drop this. 1 second. Red Gaming says, I never write unit tests. It's hard in game dev, but it would probably help. The perfect stream for me. Probably be good too. So what I will say is unit testing is very difficult to do for things that are like a fill, right? Things that are a fill. You tend to need pretty well-defined specifications to write unit tests. That doesn't mean you can't write unit tests for game dev. It just means the way you break up your logic. In game dev, it's very tempting in a lot of development actions. It's very tempting to tightly couple your test and stuff, your code. So and Unity development makes it really easy to not separate your model view controller type logic. So you often end up with all your stuff sort of in mono behaviors, and then it's really basically very challenging to test. This isn't what I wanted to do. I've completely broken this stuff here. Let me drop these tests. I've made a terrible mistake. But yeah, if you have something that has a pretty good specification, then you can write tests. If you have something that you're not, that's ambiguous on how it's going to be implemented, tests can be a good way to like narrow it in. But testing like, does my jump feel right, is hard to do, and you'd be more inclined to do what are called like play tests or integration tests. And Unity provides a really good framework for doing that. Okay, so my test, I didn't actually break it. There's something just wrong with this. Because I'm breaking my player data away from the mono behavior right now. They're going into static class instead. Interesting. So it's like a singleton then in that way. I see why people yell at singletons. Singletons can be really tricky to test, is for sure. Okay, so we're gonna do here public. I'm gonna break this down into like a. This is really annoying. Let's start with let's get rid of the parser. Test greater than expert. And then we'll have a separate one that's a test greater than parser. The expression should be fine. Paste this down here real quick. Okay. And then we're gonna test the greater than parser. This was working for a moment. Greater than parser. Let's start with just these 3 and 5. Down here. And the greater than, the expected expr is this thing. Okay. But we can get rid of this assert. Okay. So we want to assert that it parses the correct thing. Shadiest, let me give you permission real quick. The better place to post it would be on the Discord for sure, though, Shadiest. Shadiest Coach. You've got 6,000 seconds to post it, my friend. Also, Shadiest Ghost, I want to encourage you to post it on the shared Discord. Projects forum would be a perfect place for it. You get your own thread over here where you can share what you're working on. Love to see it over there. You don't have to. You don't have to. And folks, if you're not on the Discord, you're welcome to join the Discord. And especially if you're, not especially if you're a streamer, but if you're a streamer, I want to know. I want to know because it helps me promote you. But over on the Discord, there's a streamer info forum. I'd love to see what you're streaming, when you stream. If you have a schedule, let us know. Because I do like to check people. I've fallen in love with the development community on Twitch. And I spend probably too much time there. But I do spend a lot of time hanging out in Twitch streams. I love the co-working feel is just kind of beautiful and lovely. These ones I hope pass. This one, something terrible has happened. Things were working. What did I do? What did I do wrong? I should have, okay, so it is failing. Let's get rid of you. Not get rid of you. Let's debug you. I wanted to add, do we ever even make it to test conditional expert? We should make it here. Why don't we make it here? Let's try to debug just this one. Run debug this test. We should get there. If it doesn't get there, I'll be boozled. Looks like we got there. Okay. With parentheses, conditional expert or conditional. Okay. Step into is admitted is going to give us a click continue. There is there really an infinite the recursion keeps coming back to with parentheses. Timed out, needed to abort in an unsafe way. Console.writeLine conditional expert. And we'll put a break here. So I'm not sure if we're actually, I don't know that we're actually recurring here. Conditional greater than expression. Let's try again. I just needed a second line because I couldn't tell if we were actually coming back to that line or stepping over it. Debug this test one more time. And you're welcome to also post it in the chat, Shadiest Ghost. I just want to let you know on the Discord, it will stick around. Click over and then click continue. Click over and then click continue. Click over, click continue. Yeah, so we're recurring back into conditional expert. Where are we calling this? Oh, I'm a fool. What a dumb mistake to make. We wanted to go to the inner version. Interesting, the chat display doesn't show links. When you say chat display in Twitch or on Discord? In chat, it should display links. On Twitch, try posting it. I gave it to you. Maybe it's getting auto-moderated. Nickathan, all right, El Cap Etan. It has been wonderful. I really enjoy your enthusiasm, but I have finished my work and I have to go now. Nickathan, no problem, my friend. Enjoy your day. As always, keep coding, keep growing, keep being the best you can be, and you are welcome back anytime, Nickathan. We'll be back on Wednesday. We're doing office hours on the Discord tomorrow, so if you want to get in on that, feel free to do so. But we'll be back on Wednesday. There it is, Shadiest Goat. There it is, the Shady Bot. Shady Bot, that's not a sketchy name at all. Shady Bot. Nick says, you two, good luck on your testing. I look forward to hearing that you crushed it. We're so close. We are closer than ever. Shadiest Goat, this looks beautiful. Let's click that bookmark. We got to check this out later. This is the Twitch bot with experience. This looks cool. One of my students has Connect 4, nice. One of my one of my students, the Slim Shady bot. Yes, it's the real Slim Shady bot. One of my students is in the process of making a Twitch bot and Discord. It's a Twitch Discord bot, so it's sort of like we'll combine it together. So you can have like Discord points, channel points, all in one. Which will be super cool. Okay, so this should, I see where this stupid bug is now. Or I'm 90% sure. All right, let's run it. We should be able to do this. The added in the parentheses was a mistake, folks. What a mistake. Refresh. Let's go to debug. Let's get passed. All right, so do they all pass? Run them all. Run them all. And then let's come in here. Let's go back to our top level expression as well. Where's the debug? Debug. No breakpoints. Let's kill all of our breakpoints. Boom, 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 gone. Kid's a thief. Fabic, welcome back, my friend. How is your generator going? I want to know some more. Everyone, if you don't know Fabic, are you a streamer? I don't think you're a streamer, but you're making some awesome stuff. I love this. You're not a streamer, at least not on Twitch. The stuff you're making and sharing on the Discord is amazing. I've been loving it. I've been I've been loving it. So thank you so much for sharing it, my friend. Fabic's doing like some procedurally generated maps and mazes. And like procedurally generated like table getting chopped in half. It's freaking amazing. It's so cool. All right, so our tests are actually passing now. I wanted to add an or conditional expert here. So we should be able to get a conditional expert. Let's make sure I didn't break all of my tests. Gonna run them all one more time. And then we'll do a little commit here. And this works, we did it, folks. You're working on a teaser, Treasure. I'll post it soon on Discord. I'm looking forward to it. Well, this is running. Oh, it already finished running. But before we move on, I'm gonna test this out in our REPL .NET Run. I gotta talk to. We got a new crew member, Tetra 2000. Tetra 2000, I'd like to welcome you, my friend. You are welcome to Captain Coder's crew. Tetra, thank you for following me today. Tetra, I'd like to say thank you for following me. Tetra 2000, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Captain Coder's Academy. So happy to have you here on this beautiful Monday. Welcome aboard. If for anyone who's new here or doesn't know, Captain Coder is me. I am Captain Coder, and Captain Coder is a computer science educator. Each week on this stream, we try and do a new project. Some projects take 2 weeks. One time a project took 3 weeks, but we tend to stick to 1 or 2 weeks and try and learn something new. That was the intro song to Final Fantasy IX. That's right. That was a parody of the intro song to Final Fantasy IX. Good ear, Code Red. Good ear. One of my favorite soundtracks of all time. Folks, if you guys didn't know, over on the Discord and the live stream section, you just gotta go down to live stream, suggest a project. We're creating a coding language because our very own 100 Acres suggested we make one. So that's what we're doing. If you want to see a project, make a post in the suggested project ideas. I'll look into it. Unfortunately, I'll probably never get to all of these because there's not enough weeks in the, until the heat, before the heat death of the universe, we probably won't have enough weeks. But we're gonna try. But a lot of these projects were done. Skill tree, that was suggested. We did a skill tree. Crafting system, we did that. I want to do a simple online one. But yeah, feel free to post your suggestions. They don't have to be game dev. This isn't a game dev one. Let's see, did this work? Still not. Conditional expression failed to parse the greater. What if I did 5 greater than 7? It says, what's interesting is it's saying that it's conditional expression and then a failed to parse unexpected greater than. This is very weird. Conditional expr. If I just do exclamation point, I get conditional expr back. That's interesting. What is this supposed to be printing out? program.cs. It's doing an evaluate. I don't know where this is coming from. There's some sort of print going on. Failed to parse, unexpected exclamation point. If you're planning on playing a reference Steam version with Moguri mod. Yeah, you were telling me about that with some like awesome retexturing. FF9 is my favorite. Final Fantasy 9, unpopular opinion, it's my favorite Final Fantasy 9 game. There's just so much, I think there's a lot of nostalgia for me. It was one of the first Final Fantasy games I played on the PlayStation. A lot of people, it was like Final Fantasy 7. I love Final Fantasy 6 as well, but 9 is my favorite. The music's so good. Just like, I like turn-based combat games. A lot of people don't like that. Interesting here that we can parse it. Okay, let's see what happens if I do this as a dice lang expression. Does this still pass all of our tests? Well, this is running. I would like to welcome Cisco 808. Cisco 808, I'd like to welcome you to the crew, my friend. Welcome aboard today. Yes, we've got Cisco today. Cisco, welcome aboard. Welcome to the crew. Happy to have you here. If you have any questions, programming related or otherwise, do not hesitate to ask, folks. I love when you ask us questions, and backseat coding is highly encouraged here. That's how I learn. That's how I learn so much from streaming. I love it. Okay, so something's going on with the dice lang expression here. Conditional expression still passes. Let me test just to make sure. My brain. Why? Parsers. It really doesn't want to do a conditional expression as an OR here. Why are my tests suddenly failing? Holy cannoli. All right, let's go back in time here. Let's go back in time. I'm losing my friggin' mind, folks. This is just like hurting my brain. Cisco, welcome to the chat though. How are you on this beautiful Monday? I hope it's a beautiful Monday for you, wherever you happen to be in the world. These are failing, and I don't understand why. I'm losing my mind. .NET build. This is where that conditional expression is getting printed out. So that was left over. This doesn't make sense. Run these tests. Because they passed. I should have done a commit. They do pass. Other things are failing. Refresh these. Let's run all of the tests. .NET test. This will run everything. Do all my tests pass. And I'm gonna do a commit here before I change anything else because I'm losing my mind. Okay, all of the tests pass. Git add. Beat. Or really test. Add tests for greater than parser plus conditional plus fix conditional expr parser. Let's push that up before I break anything else. If I switch this to dice lang expression, I might have put dice group expression there. Do my tests still pass? Do my tests still pass? Yeah, we do dice lang. This should fail actually because I took out the or a conditional expression. All right, so but this, I hope that you can just put a conditional expression into our dice language. So it's either a Boolean value. Okay, that doesn't work. I don't quite understand why. Can I change the order of these? And I think it must be because I think it needs to come before arithmetic expression. Because otherwise we have because the condition expert is looking for the arithmetic expression. Okay, yeah, so the order is always so important and interesting to me here. If we make it so it comes before, because the problem is it goes in to find an arithmetic expression and then it never all of my other tests still pass. The conditional expression supersedes the arithmetic expression, and conditional expr looks for arithmetic expressions inside of it. Okay, so with that, does our REPL allow us now to use the condition 5 false, 7 greater than 7, 8 greater than 7. Boom, we have it. All right, so we can do that. Can I do 8? Can I do in parentheses? I can. We don't have ands, we don't have ors, so we can't do any sort of like complex logic just yet. We also don't have if statements. That was one thing that I want to add next. But we should be able to do 5 plus 7 greater than 7. Okay. We also, and I wish the up arrow worked. We can also do 3d6 greater than 7. And so this is rolling 3 6-sided dice and then tell us whether or not it's greater. Let's do 1d10 greater than 7. So this would be like 70% of the time it'll be false. Beautiful there. Devro, enjoy your grocery shopping, my friend. As always, keep coding, keep growing, be the best you can be, and you are welcome back anytime, friend. Folks, we have, let's make sure all of our other tests still pass. 78 plus 1d6. 78 plus 1d6. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. This is wonderful, folks. Let's do a commit. Let's do a commit. cd ... get add everything. We're gonna get add everything. Get commit. Feature, essentially. Feature add Boolean or conditional operators to language. It should work. We didn't write test for it, but it should work for less than and equality as well. CD, dicelang, Captain Coder, dicelang.repl.net run. Let's try less than as well. 1 less than 7. 7 less than 1. 7 less than 7. 7 equals 7. 1 equals 3. Boom. 1. So here's interesting. 1d6 does not equal 1d6, but 1/6 of the time it will. If I did 1d2 equals 1d2, that should be 50% of the time. 1d2 equals 1d2. We should get false sometimes. d2 equals 1d2. There we go. All right. This is exciting, folks. I'm really happy with this. All right, we did it. We done did it. We friggin' did it, folks. Binary conditional operators added into our language. And I have so many things on here that I thought I was gonna be able to even. The fact that I thought I was even able to get close to doing these is hilarious to me. But we did it, folks. We added a binary conditional operators, and for being here to witness this momentous occasion, all of you are gonna get 50 points, all 60 of you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for giving me the energy. Thank you for lending me your strength to get this done today. It's a beautiful day, folks. I have a little bit of time. Am I brave enough to try and add in turning operators? This is essentially adding in conditional logic. This would be our if-else operator. If, so it'd be if bool, then expr 1, else expr 2. Am I brave enough to try it? We got about 20 minutes and then I gotta go. So I'm not sure if I'm brave enough to get it done, but let's write at least the expression for it. Let's add it to our AST. Oh, I'm so excited because this is shaping up to be a beautiful day. Let's add it to our AST expression here down at the bottom. Public record, if else expression. And keep in mind, we're not doing statements as an expression, so you can't just have an if side. It has to be an if and an else. Everything has to evaluate to a value. I expression, condition. I expression, true expr. I expression, false expr. And this is going to be an I expression. The Dev Dad checking those points. 3,960 points. You're well on your way, my friend. You're in the top 100. Folks, the Dev Dad killing it over here with those points. I don't know if you saw Dev Dad, but we have conditional operators working. We have the conditional operators working. We're gonna add in some if. We're gonna see if we can add in if else statements here. I'm not sure if we can, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try. So the condition here, condition dot evaluate. All right, so it'd be I value condition. Condition result is this. If this isn't a Boolean, we're sad. So then we're gonna say if condition result is not, can do is not, bool value, or if it's not Boolean a bool. If it can't, should I do that? If it cannot become a bool, that might be the better way to do it. I'm not sure. I'm gonna do if it's not a. This is where we need to have an error value here. I'm just gonna let it crash because I'm gonna try and do here's what I'm gonna do. If condition results dot to bool. So our interpreted, the underlying interpreted language is gonna do the logic for us here. To bool will throw an exception if it fails. What's interesting is I don't have like error types in my language yet. And so this will have an error in the C# language. All right, conditional result here. The condition, if it's true, we evaluate the true expr. I value true expr. Oh, we actually just are going to return true expr dot evaluate. Otherwise, we return false expr dot evaluate like that. So this is how we make sure that we only evaluate the left or right side. You don't want it, so you'll notice in my other ones we evaluate left and right first. We have to delay that evaluation until afterwards. So we're gonna delay it. Let's go into our parsers. We're gonna add in conditional. We have conditional parse. Is it conditional parsers? Let's maybe add it here. Maybe add it here. No. I'm gonna do a if else parsers. All right, it should be relatively straightforward. I'm gonna copy this just as a template, chunk out this middle part. It broke on prod Lamel. I'm sorry, it broke on prod shittiest code. It happens though. It happens. So we have a parser here. We're gonna call this if else expr, and we are gonna say the following. We're gonna say if, and then we have an expression. Yeah, so we're gonna try it here. So it should be from leading white space in parser, parse dot white space dot mini, and then we want to find the word if. All right, from if symbol in parse dot string the word if, and then we need a conditional expression from cond expert in conditional expression. So we have to get a conditional expression here, or Boolean. So it's a conditional expression or bool. So you want a Boolean bool value. Is that a parser? Okay. Did someone put just true or false there directly? So or bool value. Then, we need to do more white space. So if white space, white space, I'm gonna do WS underscore. I need to write a helper here that lets me put tokens and it will automatically chunk out the white space. I've said this multiple times and I keep being a little bit too lazy to do it. So we get their cond expression, then white space, then we want the left side. So this would be our, this just be a generic expression. Yeah, so it should be a generic, so left, true, we're calling this true expr in dice lang expression. And then there's some more white space underscore underscore. And then we'll have our false expr. So be our false expr. And then that should be it. Select, we can't do and yet, so you could nest them as a bunch of different weird ifs. DevJet says this project is an OOP dream. Interesting. I feel like it's a little bit like an OOP nightmare, if I'm being completely honest. So this type of project is a functional programmer's dream, is how I feel about it. That said, I've mostly done all of my parser stuff, almost I'd say probably 90% of all the languages I've implemented have been done using Haskell or OCaml. And so it's just something I'm used to. From like the object-oriented perspective, I'm like, I'm not really doing a lot of OO stuff here. And so it just feels kind of nightmarish to me. All right, so this is going to be a new if-else expression. This is going to be our conditional expression. This is going to be our true expression. This will be our false expression. Okay, so this should get us a parser in there. And then the question is, can we add this? Wow, this went, well, I'm saying, wow, this went fast and I haven't tested it yet. And then in our general parsers, we say bool value, conditional expression, arithmetic expression. Do I need to do the if thing first? Actually, I think it would be fine to put it first. And so this would be in .or if else expression exper. Is that what I called it? If else exper. Let's do a .NET build, .NET test. Make sure we didn't break any of the previous tests. And then I kind of want to just see if I can hop into our... I'm going to write some real tests, I promise. But we're short on time here. That's going to be the first order of business. We'll do a .NET run here and see, can it if true... Oh, I got to do... I'm missing a couple of things here. If true, then symbol... And this is a nightmare. WS __ else symbol, else symbol, true express, and then we need white space. This is where a what would I call this? A Lexer would be super helpful here, because then I wouldn't have to worry about all these white spaces. So Lexer would solve the pain I'm having here with this white space. DevDet says, what shell is that? That's not Cygwin. I'm using bash, git bash on Windows. I can't remember where I have seen min GW. Yeah, it's not min GW, it's git bash. We continue making a language. That's right, Hassan Ali. We're continuing our dice lang here. Let's see if this, make sure we didn't break any things here. Yeah, git bash is what I'm using. It's basically gives you some minor little Linux syntax. You can run bash scripts, so it makes sense, git bash. All right, so we're gonna try the following. If true, then 5 else 2. All right. Oh, if lowercase true, then 5 else 2. Unexpected 5. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Unexpected 5. Then many. Oh, I forgot. Okay. After our this, we need to get a. What did I do here? This is interesting. We're gonna move this up. This should come after the then. Like that. Okay. Try again. Run those tests. But Hassan Ali, how are you on this beautiful Monday, my friend? I hope it's beautiful wherever you are in the world. If true, then 5 else 0. Unexpected E. So it made it to the E here, I believe. Parse a dice lang expression. We're close. We're close. I bet if I put parentheses, it unexpected E. during this dice laying expression, I'm fairly confident that we made it to this dice laying expression, and it parsed the 5, and now it's seeing the E during the dice laying expression. Let me try just a little trick here. Arithmetic expression and arithmetic expression. This isn't what we want, but I'm curious if I can get this, if it'll work this way. It has to do with, it's going back and looking at the top level there. If true, then if ter. If true, oh, that's gonna be the same thing. 5 else 7. Okay. If false, then 5 else 7. So we have this if 7 is greater than 3, then 5 else 7. If 1D 100 is less than 50, then 0 else 1. If 1D 100 is less than 50, then 0 else 1. Let's keep going. If 1D 100 is less than 50, then 0 else 1. I need to make that up arrow. Okay, so we can get some randomness in there with our expression. We have an if, then else, but it has an issue, and maybe I'll use curly braces to break up my syntax here to force you to do something rather than having it if, then, and then just arbitrary. This is where parsers, it's like, oh, well, it turns out the curly braces make it easier to write your parser. So I think I might do that. Force you to have a closed curly brace at the end. So we'll parse in the send symbol. If this, you... All right, we're gonna try this, see if this makes it so it's easier. What's interesting here, arithmetic expression. Let me think through this. I really want this to be a dice laying expression. Dice laying expression. We're so close. I gotta stop because I have work here. All right, I'm gonna put these back as arithmetic expression, and we're gonna put a big to do here. To do. Arithmetic expression is incorrect for true, false. Branch should be dice. Should be any expression. Incorrect. All right. Thank you for the to do. That's right. The toto. Got to do the toto. Let's find someone to raid here, folks. Folks, before we go, one last little promotion. Tomorrow, no stream tomorrow. I'll be back on Wednesday. But you got to come to office hours tomorrow if you have the time. Tomorrow, we on the Discord. So I'm not streaming tomorrow, but tomorrow we're doing office hours, folks. We're doing office hours. Here's a link to this event. If you're not a member of the Discord, you probably can't get a link to this. This link probably won't work. But if you're a member of the Discord, this event tomorrow, we're doing a little bit lesson. We're going to start off with a little lesson where we're talking about delegates in C#. What's a delegate? Why should you use it? When should you use it? When should you not use it? We're going to talk about delegates tomorrow. Then we're going to open it up to anyone. First post, first serve, suggest a topic, ask a question, or share your project. This would be a great place to share the project you're working on. I'd love to see you there, folks. And then lastly, you can become a member of the Discord. If you'd like to support the Captain, you can become a member of the Discord. If you don't, or Ko-fi, member on the Ko-fi, get the same benefits, become a crew member, crewmate plus, or a bridge crew member, folks. Love to have you there. You get this nice little icon next to your name. You get the fancy color, and you get to join the Captain Coders exclusive Captain Coders Quarters Discord channel, where you can hang out and ask me anything. We just hang out and have some fun in there. That said, it never required. Love having you here. Any money that we get is going straight to the game jam. Is it just jam? Learn you a game jam, folks. Straight to that. We're gonna be hiring tutors. We're gonna be hiring mentors to help people learn code and grow during that time. So stay tuned for that. It's coming in July. Let's find someone to raid, and then I got to get to work, folks. Once again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Let's see, Twitch. Let's go look at it. Let's go look. Who do we got here? Who's on? Twitch, will you load for me? We are gonna go raid Mono. This is gonna be the first time I've seen Mono, but real quick, let's give a shout out Mono NZ, folks. I haven't seen Mono stream. I've been wanting to check it out, so we're gonna go raid Mono here. Raid Mono NZ. I should probably check the actual stream, make sure that it's not ending or on break or something odd. Looks like we're doing some Kotlin Android development. Looks beautiful, looks fun. But we're gonna raid over there. So have yourselves, as always, folks, have yourselves a beautiful day. Keep coding, keep growing, be the best you can be, and you are welcome back anytime, folks. Have a beautiful day.